It's not happening.
Hi.
It's
happened. Let's reenact it.
I don't know which one.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta do my pose.
How's that for an intro? Oh, we forgot the music.
We're a little drunk.
Coco.
I didn't put anything in the coco. Welcome to the post-credit
There's something in the
show.
water.
But I haven't had water yet today.
It's mixed in with your cocoa.
Oh, it is. But I boiled it.
Does it matter?
Oh, that's some strong stuff there.
You guys are we're gonna feel it in about half an
Welcome
hour.
to the post-credit show where we talk about movies we've been watching, games we've been playing, and other assorted stuff we have been doing. I'm Nick. We forgot to do this.
Yes, we did. I'm Tony.
Brian.
Chris.
You guys hopped on that like Brian was like, I'm
Brian.
I'm Brian.
I'm Chris.
I'm here.
He's excited to be
Table.
Table flip.
What happens if we all table
my
flip at the same
cocoa.
time?
We would just lift the table
We just go, whoo, wah.
right into the ceiling.
Not my cocoa.
Not in my coco. Either way, sure.
Yes.
So I've been.
Have you been busy?
It's
He
been
doesn't
a
have a
weird.
switch in front of him.
It's been a weird week because again, like Thursday, I was at work till 7.
Yeah, see, I don't have to stick around for those.
Yeah, see, I
Was
do.
it like a parent-teacher thing?
It's a thing. So the parents come in and we talk about their kids and all good.
Your
things.
kids are
It's
fine.
still like- yeah, it really is. It's actually a really fun evening because you get to.
Get to adult a little.
Yeah, we get to have adult conversations, which is kind of nice. But so I was stuck there till 7. But I've been playing games with you because my wife's been working evenings, and Brian's
My wife's horseback riding.
yeah. So it's just like, okay, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. So we've tried some Fortnite because you've been
Yes.
jumping in on this too. So we did some PUBG,
Yeah, we did some PUBG.
and while playing PUBG,
we were thinking about it.
we Fortnite. We
thought-
downloaded Fortnite.
This was a race.
You guys won.
Yes.
Uh,
But PUBG was all right. Still no vaulting. Still no vaulting.
Still no vaulting. That's on
Which-
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
I made a
so
mistake.
1.0
I thought it was 1.0. And
1.0 will be out, and then that's when vaulting will be.
and then we'll
But-
get back
Just
in.
ran into the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vaulting to the wall. Vaulting to other people.
And then we played with Brian's friend, who's actually really good,
And crazy.
Yeah, he killed like 3 people that
which
one.
was unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I really think he just didn't have a good time.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's a chill guy.
got
I'm
stuck
sure
with
he
us.
doesn't care.
I think at most we got like 2 kills between all of us.
We drove a car into a wall, hurting us all. I got it stuck on a tiny bump because I got it so naturally.
But we didn't teach him how to tell which way is west and east.
You mean by the sun?
By the sun.
I just looked at the compass.
You can also do that. Either way, so we jumped into Fortnite, which is the game that...
The one that started the conversation.
Which is funny because in our Ask Barrel Roll News Network
now-
thing, people were like, "What's your debate on the Fortnite / PUBG issue?" They are different
quite
games.
They are
different.
quite different.
They start the same.
They share a lot of the same aspects.
Yes, but they are very
but
different games.
very different.
Yeah.
Map smaller, which I kind of like.
The building piece and the destruction piece is very,
yeah.
Very
very,
huge.
Yeah.
very epic and very Fortnite.
Yeah.
So yeah, you jump in
Specific.
and like, I landed on. We went to the woods. Well, these two went to like the cabin. I went to the watchtower. So I landed at the top of the watchtower. I'm like, yeah. And then I got the stuff that was up there, and I was like, okay, get down fast. I dig down because you can
Yes.
in the houses. You dig through the
Yeah,
roof.
so
You
there's-
dig through the floors.
There's a very big incentive
Okay.
to at least basically land on top of a house because you can always get
You
more
just
resources.
you can still
Yeah.
just get in and right away.
Right, so
So the resources by pickaxing everything. It's like if you pickaxe the
Pickaxes-
floor and it's made of wood,
Yeah.
you're gonna
You get
get
wood.
wood.
think of it like a Minecraft. It's basically Minecraft with like a massive
With a battle royale.
I've seen the trailer and it looks very intense.
It's
Oh, yeah.
and my
it's
experience
frenetic. Like it's very
my
frantic.
experience with Fortnite so far is that the turnover between matches is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice.
Which because
Except-
like
yeah.
with some PUBG games, it's like, oh, if I'm playing with you guys and I'm the only one alive for 10 minutes, you guys are watching.
Watching and
Whereas
watching.
in Fortnite, yeah, like if 2 of you guys go down and I'm still playing, and all of a sudden like this dude out of nowhere snipes me, it's
because
fast.
the map is smaller.
The
and
map
it's
is smaller.
More, yeah.
The weapons I feel like are a little bit more not accurate, but
I feel
Like,
like
they
they
do more
can
damage.
forgiving
better.
in
they
terms
do
of
more
like,
damage.
Yeah.
They do more damage.
But
From
either
what
way,
it
it was
feels
funny
like.
because I landed on top of this tower and I started digging through the floor and I dug through one and I landed
Yeah.
and I was like, perfect. So I dug through again. There was no floor anymore.
Woo!
I died.
Well, we revived you.
You revived me. I came back to life. But Well, and it's funny because then like Brian and I were playing at one point, and we're like, "Okay, where are we gonna land?" Because again, you take a battle bus, so it's a bus attached to a big balloon, and you take that out, and it's like, "Hey, where are we gonna go?"
So the first thing you have to realize is that the falling in this game, the glider, it's way different.
Very different than PUBG.
Very different because you can in PUBG you fall and then you can choose whether to launch your parachute early or not. Well, in Fortnite, you can switch between the two until you get to a certain point.
Well, and that glider goes a long way. So essentially, the trick in Fortnite is to go pretty much at an angle as fast as you can to get the glider out, because the glider goes the same speed as your fall speed, till the glider automatically has to come out because you're too close to the ground, and then you just go.
Let it go.
Yep. And the fall is a little bit. It's longer.
I could just jump out of the bus and just die.
Run into someone, sacrifice.
And so my first impressions with Fortnite's Battle Royale is that it feels a lot more polished, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that
it's Epic Games.
It's an actual game. Not that PUBG isn't an actual game. It's a mod of a game, whereas Fortnite is a straight up game that they built from the ground up.
Yeah.
Like PUBG's probably.
It's got more polish to it.
More indie.
It's got a big indie feel, whereas Fortnite's it's polished. It's
polished.
The graphics are
commercial.
It's a very commercial game. And you know what? Well, and it's funny because Brian and I were playing it enough where it was like, okay, what is this PvE piece all about? We looked into it because it's going to become free to play.
The entire experience will be.
But right now, you pay for early access to the PvE, and we're like, well, we're having enough fun in the
I'm gonna wait.
Battle Royale.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
When we looked at the price and we looked at what people are saying right now, it's still pretty bare bones in the PvE, because what ends up happening is it was like, oh, pay to get into PvE, and everybody's like,
and then your stats.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, Battle Royale comes out, and everybody's into this game now because it's free. It's 100 versus, it's like, 100 people on the one map doing their thing. So now Epic has changed their focus very much to improving the Battle Royale piece as opposed to the PvE piece. The PvE piece has gotten very quiet. As when it comes to updates.
Lower player base.
Well, Well, and everybody's waiting like us. They're like, it's going to become free.
So,
and that's the other piece too, is even if you buy the base game, you still have to pay for the loot crates and the this and the that. So it's like
there's still microtransactions.
Because it's going to be free to play. So it's like, oh, if I bought the base game and they gave me a bunch of that stuff kind of for free because I'm getting in early.
Yeah, I think you get
and I'm testing.
Depending on which tier you buy into.
And that's the other piece. So if you buy the $40 tier, you pretty much get
the
game.
Maybe like 5 crates.
But you can go up to $150 where you're
you
unlocking like ninja costumes and a whole bunch of other stuff. And
you get like 3 extra copies for your friends.
That would be the only enticing part.
Yeah.
All of these games we play would be perfect for you. Like Elite Dangerous, you'd be like, I don't care if my ship's whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, that's why we're gonna try and get you into Fortnite.
Yeah, but Fortnite, you don't even get to choose your character that you play.
I know. The first time we booted in, we're like, I want to be a black chick.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a black chick.
Girl, boy, white, Asian, black.
Because I rock that half-naked black chick with a fro and puppy for the longest time.
You still do.
I still do.
I still do. You're killing it because it's a lot of coins to change that now. So
screw that. I'm committed.
Although Tony has started something, we just all run in without pants. Now.
Yeah, we just
pantsless.
I'm actually all naked, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Yeah, I'm just in my boxer shorts.
Yeah.
I'm not savage though. I got a shirt on.
Yeah. A classy one on the wall. But no, Fortnite's been, and it's cool because you kind of, if you get to the part where like is the safe zone fast enough, you can start building
around
a base and trying to like solidify.
So there's still a sense
position.
of Minecraft building.
Is it easily destructible then?
Depending on which material you use.
Wood, brick, and metal.
It's stone, guys. They
stone.
Brick
Stone.
Whatever. All right. So you can build.
It depends.
It's like the 3 Little Pigs.
Yeah, go pigs. Except stone is not the strongest metal.
And you don't use wind to blow down those sticks. You use
challenge accepted.
Use guns. Use guns.
Guns use wind.
Sure. Not really. Not really.
Really powerful wind propelling the bullets forward.
Science? I don't think that's how science
yes,
works.
Yes, it
is. Because I'm wondering, you guys, so I can do the building, but if is it worth the time? If
sometimes
get destroyed?
Early games, it's not.
Early game, no.
What some people do too is if you're running around and suddenly you're getting shot at, build a wall right away, and then you have at least a barrier to slow them down.
Yeah, and then you can always build staircases upwards to give yourself a height advantage, like in Star Wars Episode 3.
Yeah, you have the higher ground.
No, you have to pay for those now.
Oh shit. High ground.
That was the meme that was on there. It was
Oh
like,
yeah.
you are the or it's like you are the chosen one. You've betrayed me, or you. It's like you can't beat me now. I've paid for the high ground.
For the high ground. That's Star Wars.
But yeah, I'm sitting there going like, it's fun, and yeah, once you start building, we just started dicking around building the one day. We survived. Was it all of us that survived that day till like, or was it you and I? I think it was you and I. We got like 4th place by dicking around building stuff and destroying stuff.
No, Tony was there too.
I don't remember what I was doing.
We were doing nothing, and we managed to stay. We managed to get.
And the nice part about in Fortnite is that there's no sense of crawling and hiding from people because it's
you can't crawl. You can't really crawl.
You can't crawl.
Really,
It's a faster game. It's a much faster game.
It feels
There's no vehicles either.
No,
which is a huge change.
If it's a smaller map, you don't really.
Yes, you don't need vehicles.
You don't need vehicles.
But vehicles change.
It almost feels very TF2/PUBG to me.
Honestly, it's a cross between TF2 and Minecraft.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the PUBG,
with a battle
like,
royale.
overall,
with the battle royale theme. Yes. If you are going to boil it down to what this game feels like,
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually down for more games.
I love the art style of TF2.
And that's why I really like Fortnite. Like I really like the art style of Fortnite, and I dig this battle royale thing. I hope more games start doing battle royale.
I'm actually surprised Activision didn't get in on it.
I know.
Like World War II seems like the one game to do something like that.
Sure, and again, the battle royale piece is just it's a for funsy type thing. So yeah, you could totally. It's like, oh yeah, here's the World War II battle map, and it's every country for themselves sort of thing.
Or it's or it's like the mortars are coming in.
Yeah.
You gotta get into the circle, or else the mortars are gonna get you.
Could you imagine if Blizzard did that with with just Warcraft?
I feel
not World of Warcraft, but like a new Warcraft game.
I can see that. To be honest, I can see that in Warcraft.
Because it seems like they're trying to build that up, bring Warcraft back.
I can see that in WoW, honestly.
We'll see. But yeah, no, that was, like I'm hoping more games start coming out with these, and I know PUBG's all mad that Fortnite stole their idea, but it's like I said the last time we talked about this.
Did they
really?
I don't think they copyrighted that though. So
but it's like,
you can't copyright. You can't copyright multiplayer. You can't copyright the MOBA. You can't copyright.
It's like when Dota came out, and then League had League of Legends, and then Heroes of the Storm. It's like everyone can have their own game,
and then Smite.
You'll get your own.
And now it's who can
Smite,
do it.
Paragon.
Yes,
exactly.
Which is good. So
competition is good.
Correct. And you know what? It's funny because when Fortnite came out, all of a sudden that's when we started getting you can vault in PUBG. You can do like the updates really started communicating
and
actually
improve the game.
Which they're still behind in updates.
They are, but
like that they've been teasing that new map in PUBG for
a long time.
For months.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what would get more people back into PUBG.
New content.
Well, and again, that's the other nice piece of Fortnite is different parts of the map feel very different from each other, whereas PUBG
there's a theme.
Desolate Russian island,
or like it's another town. Oh, it's another town. One town looks almost like the other town.
If you fly
in Fortnite, you can see like there's a camp. There's
the toilet factory,
cheeseburger restaurant.
Yeah,
there's just random sheds. There is
swamps.
Yes, like and again, it's that color, it's that style, it's that character.
Yeah,
it may not have like the Overwatch sense of like that character is this character because you're always generated into a new.
Yeah, which is fine by me because then everybody's even, which it should be in that kind of game. Again, the whole point to a battle royale is you get what you find. It's the Hunger Games effect. Yeah. And again, I don't know why Hunger Games has not come out.
Why have they not come out and said like this is our game style mode in a movie?
But not even that. Make a bloody game.
Yeah.
And like go crazy or go with PUBG. Just like
theme it with them.
Theme it. Yeah.
Like just like what is it? Dead by Daylight did with they got Freddy Krueger and they got Michael Myers.
I think the thing with
the
PUBG,
license.
I think with PUBG the developer is not exactly they're not in English speaking territory, so for them it'd be a little bit more complicated.
I get that, but still, like I'm surprised no one from the Hunger Games group of people has gone to like PUBG and been like, hey. Can you make a map that only has like these kinds of weapons?
I don't think
this is what happens on the
Here's
map?
how the conversation goes. Do you guys have bow and arrows in your game? No? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but could you make them if we gave you a crap ton of money?
Probably.
They already have a crap ton of
But even Berkeley, who like doesn't play video games, I told her about these kind of battle royale style games where it's like the Hunger Games. She's like, that sounds actually super cool because she loves the Hunger Games story and the premise of that like. You put a whole bunch of people in one room and you have to survive.
You know what's really lacking in the Hunger Games books? Hunger Games.
Yes.
After the first one, they just pretty much threw out the best part of that entire series.
Well, the second one wasn't bad. It did, the book had more.
I haven't watched them.
And then the third book
they're not good.
Third book was absolutely no Hunger Games.
Well, the third book was trash too, but
Correct.
It was very political.
which is okay. But the third book was also just trash.
Yeah, it was
in
rushed.
my opinion, it was a crap.
It felt
book.
rushed.
You know. I don't know. But yeah, like I read the first Hunger Games and I'm like, this is amazing because it's Battle Royale.
Yeah.
The film.
And it's pretty vicious in the book.
Oh,
Right.
I missed that movie.
But that's what I mean. It's that movie, but in a book, and with like a bunch of teenagers running around, and like just the dynamics to the Hunger Games. I'm like, yeah. And then it's like the second book. It's like they're calling them back, and I'm like, oh, this had to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like the best of the the MVPs of the Hunger Games are going in, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. And then before anything happens, they're all like, we've teamed up, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I hate this game.
and not even like teamed up to survive and kill off that half and then decide like who's gonna die on this side. It's like we've all teamed up to fight the government, and I'm like, oh no, it's done this. Now I just want people dying again.
Yes, it is wildly tracked off.
I just wanted a lot of people to die, just like in PUBG and Fortnite.
Mostly Fortnite.
Mostly, yeah.
And people die off so fast in the game. You just see the ticker go like...
Fortnite, yeah, like I said, the turnover rate in Fortnite's way faster.
Well, but we decide like we're like, okay, let's go to this part of the map because there's not an actual place. It's not a named place.
Yeah.
It's just
there's
buildings. Like let's go there because we kept going places and there was people and
they would kill us so fast.
Yeah, so we're like, let's go to a secluded place.
Yeah.
More
people! And they just killed us!
Like there was like 10 people that landed there and we're like,
Yeah, the thing that's really different about this game versus PUBG is that if someone knows in your house, they don't have to go into that house. They can just blow the wall up with their guns and be like, "Oh, there you are! I'm just going to toss a few
like
grenades."
PUBG, I can hide in the bathtub
Forever, right?
and just wait. Right. This game, it's like I'm hiding in the bathtub and the wall behind me starts like shaking and I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And then if you're in a squad, they'll like target multiple walls, so you have no other wall to put your back against.
Yeah.
And they'll just bombard you
until
and
you
destroy
start
you.
building your own walls.
Yeah, until you got to build your own walls.
Rebuild them as they destroy them.
Yeah, they don't build that fast.
Yeah.
although it's really easy just to poop walls up, but
It's really easy to like. That's the other nice piece is you don't actually have
The
to sit there
creation piece.
staring at the wall.
Yeah.
You hit the
F1
button and it
click.
starts.
F2 click.
Yeah.
F3
See,
click.
See, that's what I'd be interested in.
it's
on
almost
that
like an auto
controller.
controller.
Oh yeah, your controller would be a
know how
lot
that would be.
faster.
I don't know.
I think PC is still
I don't know.
faster.
We'd have better aiming.
Yeah.
Probably faster.
So Chris builds and we shoot.
Teamwork.
Yeah, I wonder if his would just be a one button.
I bet you hold it and you have to press.
We'll find out.
We'll
We'll
find
find
out.
out.
Either way. So Fortnite is one of the obviously the things I've been doing. Rocket League on my Switch. I've been Rocket Leaguing. I tried some online Rocket
Did you get
League.
Did you get wrecked?
No.
Yeah.
We did pretty good. We did pretty good. Like it's actually the matchmaking
Yeah.
did a pretty good job of finding people that we were pretty even with. I mean, the one game there was a guy on there who was doing
All the legwork.
pretty good.
Just pretty.
But he was dominating the ball, but there was enough of us on our team that either knocked into him or knocked the ball.
2v2?
4v.
4v4.
No, 3v3. Sorry. So there was me and another guy who were like knocking the ball away from him, or at least hitting him. So he wasn't like he was almost getting goals, as opposed to us who were just it was like mass defense, because he knew what he was doing with the flipping and the jumping and the rocket boosting and the like. I use the rocket boost because if you go fast enough, you hit people and they explode.
Yeah. If you can,
Or you catch up to the ball before. Like now it's really cool when you get those races where you're both going for the ball.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you both hit the boost, and all of it is like
almost like Fast and Furious.
well, and then you can actually get Fast and Furious cars.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
They're part of the you can buy them as DLC.
You say you get
Charger.
yeah. It seems like they have a lot of like you said there was
It's
Rick and
cosmetic-
Morty. There's a lot of
Well, Rick and Morty is in there, so
Back
I
to the
have a
Future.
Mr. Meeseeks on my roof and
Right.
Rick's on my antenna, and then I bought two of the DLCs. So I have the DeLorean.
I thought they came with it. I thought the Switch version came with all the DLC.
No, you can buy it all. It doesn't come with it. So I bought the DeLorean and I bought the Batmobile from Batman v Superman. Because you can actually, then you get the little flag. So if you're just driving a regular
Supporting
car,
that movie.
I think people need to.
if you
There's what?
Batman v
BVS?
Batman.
Oh,
v
sorry,
Superman,
man. I
it's
was
not
thinking
from
Justice League. Oh.
But you can get a little Batman flag for your regular car instead of driving the Batmobile around.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can't customize the Batmobile
That is
other than the
surprising.
color, because obviously it's like, okay, if you're red team, what color is like the lights on the Batmobile going to be, so that they know you're a blue car or a red car.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, okay, same with the DeLorean. You just change some of the lighting patterns. But, like, the boost for the DeLorean is a specific color that comes out of the back end of the DeLorean. But when you go super speed,
These are the trails.
it's the fire trails.
That's awesome.
And you're
Of
just like,
course.
yeah. And you
You
can't
gotta
Travel
have
through time?
You kind of have. No. You don't get. He's probably going like what, 1 kilometer below. The speed.
Either way, it's
Going
it's,
86 miles.
That's a pretty fun game. But yeah, the online matchmaking was good enough to.
Oh,
We weren't getting stomped.
yeah.
And the connection seemed fine.
Connection was fine.
Because that's the
Connection
big thing about those games is you need
Connection
the,
was fine. Frame rate was good. Like, it wasn't like I was ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
You know, like when two of us are racing for that ball, it's like, and whoever runs out of boost first is screwed.
Yeah.
So
It's a boost chicken game.
it's not even. It's
Like, you
it's
don't-
literally like you're both driving and going, when do I hit my boost so it doesn't run out before the other guys?
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
what's
find out the best optimal time to use the boost.
Yeah. So, and then once you've boosted, then you forward dodge roll essentially to get yourself that extra like inch over the
To
other
hit the
guy
ball.
to hit the ball forward.
Yeah,
and you're just
that
like,
game is very twitch heavy.
Well, then you got to hit the ball right in the right place, or the ball goes that way instead of going that way.
Yeah.
Like it's
I like some of the tricks when you can backflip into the ball.
yeah,
Those are the good
So this
ones.
is a good physics engine.
it's really cool. It's like yeah, and like I say, it's soccer because you're playing soccer with cars.
Soccer.
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys been Destiny.
We are level 20.
Yeah, you
Building
made
up
it.
our gear.
You made it.
I'm only 234 power level.
It doesn't matter. I think you're probably ahead of me now.
Oh,
I was gonna say, so we've just been doing like the daily challenges on each
Yeah.
planet, and then
we did try the Crucible.
we tried the Crucible. We won.
We won one.
Isn't the Crucible the
Just-
PvP
It's
one?
PvP.
Yeah.
Oh, it's intense. Like that was the
I
thing.
know
We
it
played.
is.
We joined the Crucible. We were like level 9.
Yeah, and when you got
Yeah,
slaughtered.
don't do that.
Well, no, because the quest said like you talk to the one guy and
I
he's
know,
like,
but you don't
"Go
have
to
to
the
do it right
Crucible."
there.
Well, we figured that out because we went into the Crucible.
Got wrecked.
There's all
and
these
we
level
got-
20s.
Yeah, we got wrecked, and we're like, "Oh, we'll come back." So then we were both level 20. We got Brian some gear.
Yep.
We went back in. and We're like, "All right, we
did
got
awesome.
this."
We
And
won
yeah,
by like 15 kills.
Oh yeah,
So you had a good game.
we had a really good game, but then it was
Come back to haunt you next
well,
week.
but it was so because it's fat. It's Halo, but on a really small map,
Yeah.
It's like the
There's
Halo
only-
developers
there's
made
not
a
many
good
players
shooter.
either.
Yeah.
and it's what 4-on-4,
Yeah.
5-on-5.
5-on-5.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
It's like the Halo guys made a really good Halo
Yeah.
game.
But that's what I mean. It's think
And they've
Halo.
changed the multiplayer since the first one.
Oh, okay.
They're well, obviously the different types.
It's
Yeah.
just a very satisfying first-person shooter.
Well,
Like
the
I feel
fact
like
that you have the melee weapons also
Yeah.
helps. Like, you know, I had guys, they come around a corner and I just whip my sword out and just like,
Your shield.
no, my striker is a puncher. Whatever
Well, they changed.
his subclass is whatever it is. So. But he
Which
hits
one did you choose?
the
With the shield or the punchy down or
punchy down.
Punchy down.
There's another one. I can't
That's
remember
very
which one
tech-
that is.
Hammer.
Right. the hammer.
Fiery hammer of doom.
Yes.
I didn't like the fiery hammer of
That's
doom.
very
You have to be
technical.
very accurate with that.
I know, I did not like the fiery hammer of doom. The
I
punchy's
think there's
nice.
a homing though.
I think there is. I like the punchy though.
I like the shield.
punchy.
I dug the shield. Like the shield was a great way to start because I felt like Captain America. But the punchy, I'm just like I can get in close and as I activate it, it punches the ground, and then I just start like
Is that
punching everybody around.
is that the blue, purple, or orange?
blue.
Blue.
That's my blue power, my arc power.
Arc power.
But either way, like I got into that, and it was you get into the match. I always forget I have that power too. And it's like I should save it for
I should
special
save it, yeah.
occasions, and then
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, I'm getting
You
my
totally
I'm,
forgot about it.
yeah, and then I'm like, all of a sudden there's like 3 guys around me, and I'm like, click,
Click.
dead, and I'm like,
Or sometimes I'll think to use it later on, and I'll be like, but then everyone's dead. I'm like, damn it, I
It's
just
not a
wasted
good
it.
situation for
Yeah.
this power.
But yeah, like it's one of those games where I'm like, yeah. Like this is. We had fun, but yeah, it was so intense for that 4 minutes that we were in the Crucible, or 3 minutes that you're in the Crucible, like because it is the
was
map.
it just a death match then?
Yeah, just
the maps are small enough where you're just like, there's so much shooting and so much just.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Nick needs like we're both like, do we do another? Because now we have to do like the
You have to
other
do two, like,
verse.
the
version.
intense
The
one?
intense
there's
version
a
of Crucible, yeah.
3, or so you played the cooperative.
Yeah.
To go into the competitive.
Yeah.
Competitive.
He gives you one more after that.
I figured.
It's
Because
just
there's
too
another
intense.
thing to click on the crucible.
I like to relax.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But that's the thing, like, we're like, that was pretty intense, and now it says it's going to get harder. Like, no, thank you. High intensity? What was it? High intense? That's what it was.
High
Yeah, it was like,
intensity.
that's what it says on the thing. It's like, high intensity battle, and I'm like, that wasn't high intensity.
And then we go back. It's like low intensity. We're like, oh.
Just crank it up then. Just go.
Yeah.
We can. That's what we have to do next. We have to play 2
Yeah.
at high intensity, and I'm like,
Go balls of the.
so. But no, that's a good game.
Yeah.
And I know people are complaining about it online because it's not like,
There's complaints.
lots.
Oh yeah.
People are very unhappy with Destiny 2.
A lot of
more-
the people who played Destiny 1.
I don't
Because
see an
you
issue with
pick,
it.
you pick up coins instead of getting like, I don't know. They're mad at the coin system. They're mad at.
At least it's not like a heavy microtransactions.
You really don't notice them unless you want to buy.
really
the
don't
silver
need
engrams.
them.
You don't
Or
need
whatever.
them. Yeah, they're silver engrams.
I don't want to waste my shade either that I get. Cause,
Yeah, the one-time use.
well, no, because if you have,
The shaders?
exactly. If you have them, and then
I
there
put
are
them on
some
my
things
epic. Not my epic gear. My legendary, like the orange, like
but
the
you can
yellow
only
gear.
have one of those at a time.
That's fine.
I got 10 of one and I used it for everything. I still have extras.
Oh yeah, I color my ships,
Yeah. I color
But
my
then I
shit.
switch my ships out, and it's
and I color them again.
I only have
I'm not
one
really
ship.
like the shaders. I'm saving some of them that are hard to get, but some of them
Yeah.
I have like 15. And I'm like, everybody gets one of
gets
these.
it. I look like one color.
Yep. So yeah, no, Destiny's been good.
Downloading Fortnite on my PS4 now.
we're doing
Oh,
this
is it
now.
Tony yet? Oh,
No, it's not
I was gonna
Tony
wait
yet.
till it's Tony's turn.
Why is it-
Injustice 2. I've continued to play.
such a good
Oh,
game. That game is so good.
Good
I'm
game.
only comparing to the other comic book fighting game that I've played.
Compared to Injustice, like the first one.
Oh, it's better than.
It's,
better.
it's a
better
more
than the first.
refined game
More
than
refined.
that one.
So much better.
But the first one is still like
Oh,
a
it's still good.
game.
First
Oh,
one's
it's
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
But the second one is
It's
just
even better.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the story, I think, more in the first one.
I do too.
'Cause I never
I'm with
finished
you
the
as well
first
because
one.
the second one, like I said, it's basically just this alternate universe. It's not. It's not multiple. Earths
I liked
anymore.
the multiple Earth
Multiple
thing
Earth-
happening.
Because it's like, oh, didn't you die already? No, I'm not dead in my universe. What are you talking about?
Well, and the multiverse
It felt
part of this game plays that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, all of a sudden I'm in the multiverse, and Green Arrow versus Green Arrow, and my Ollie comes out going, like, so which one of us is the real one? And the other one cracks a joke back,
Mm-hmm.
and then mine finishes it off, and you're like, okay, that was cute. Like, that was a good joke. So the multiverse handles that
yes,
piece,
but like the main story, it's just all after the events
of the first one in that alternate reality where
I see.
Superman is locked up
yeah, and so the
and Brainiac's on his way.
And the big thing is like, do we free Superman to help fight Brainiac or not? Like, and
Yeah.
it's like their own mini civil war essentially.
Yeah.
Because there's like a like the what is it called? The regime, the regime that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But then they still kind of do because they're locked themselves away in what, Themyscira or something.
No, they were.
Oh,
in,
no, Black Adam's
Black Adam's
Egypt
realm.
stage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a good game.
It's a very good game,
I've
and
been
it
having fun
still
with it.
looks really good. Like, oh, that it's just so good compared
and
to
then
the other one.
the last time you were here, you talked about Elite Dangerous.
Yes.
Oh,
you guys
yes.
enjoying that?
So I got that one because it went on sale for.
It's still on sale.
On
Yeah.
the Black Friday sales.
They're.
There's a ton of good sales this.
I hopped
year.
on. I got that, and I got the expansion pack because, like, I was playing yesterday, and I was swearing up a storm
It's a steep learning curve.
because flying is flying.
in a 3D
Is it like
environment.
okay?
3D
Okay, so
space.
compared to something like Steel Battalion, which one's more complicated?
I've never played Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion.
It's that Xbox
is-
360 game where you actually had a giant mech controller.
I'm okay
and
with
there was
the
like
mechs,
40
'cause
something odd buttons.
I understand
on
how
this
a mech
controller.
works because a mech has throttle to go forward, but it also has the chassis that can move back and forth, and as opposed to just the legs.
Yeah.
Like, I understand mech games. I've played them a bajillion times. This one, I feel like if I actually had a joystick,
A flight stick.
I could accomplish more because you're going like this with your mouse to like.
Well, would it be better to just have a controller then?
I thought about
Yeah.
it, and I
No?
thought about using that, but for the rest of the game, there's so many menus and this
Yeah.
and that and everything where you'd have to be like, this would be here for flying, this would be here for
And in a sense, you would
Yeah.
be doing that with a flight stick.
This game is
anyway.
very
You would
big
be.
with VR too.
yeah.
Very
So you
VR.
can launch in
very
VR.
very VR.
Oh, I
Like
can't
people
wait.
say when
Are
you
you
play
putting on
this in
your glasses,
VR, it's
man?
like beautiful.
No, those don't work. Those are attached to this.
That's a
not
phone.
that.
No,
But
it's not that cool.
because the game takes place, you're in your cockpit.
Yeah.
Like for the and again, we don't have a rover, so we can't.
Yeah,
hit the
you
planets
can't
yet.
get a rover, land on a
I'm
planet. Like
excited
we
to
can
get
land on
VR
planets.
headset to play something
we
like
can't
that.
do anything on the planets. Really.
No, we can't land on the planets. You can dock, but like landing, you legitimately fly towards a space station
Yeah.
or the ground stations or whatever. Because I actually had to land on a planet at a space state or at a thing today, at a base. But as you're flying in, once you get so many kilometers out, you have to press 1 and you go to your like one screen down here, and then you go over to communications and you have to communicate with the base and tell them that you wish to dock.
Yeah, you're requesting
You have to
docking.
request docking, and then they get back
Nope,
to you, and
Just
they're
fly in.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
then
was
they
gonna
get-
say as hard as
so-
you can.
well, and then they get back to you, and they're like, okay, like land on, and depends on which place
Yeah.
you're in. So if it's a big space station, it'll be like, okay, you are cleared to dock on pad,
36.
Yep,
or
and you're like, okie dokie. So you have to fly through the little opening
into the space station.
into the space station, find your dock, and you have to slow down, put
Rotate
your
to the
landing gear
proper
down,
way.
rotate.
I was
and-
gonna
Crash
say,
in.
I think I'm with you on this one. Like, it just goes straight as fast as I can.
As long as I'm still alive after the plane crashes,
No,
I'm
you
good.
die. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I jump out wherever.
So
I
this seems like an ultra sim.
it
It
is.
is. It
It's
is.
ultra simmy.
Every distance between planets is actual distance in like
Oh,
reality.
The only difference
So-
is that you actually have warp engines.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's like, you're
And
not
there
just
are
waiting-
aliens.
You're not
and-
waiting like 6 months to get to
Exactly.
Mars.
No, so
Yeah,
it's-
so you see a planet and it's so many like it tells you how many light years away it is, like 6.5 light years away.
Sure.
yeah.
And as you fly, as soon as you're out of gravitational pull or whatever it is, you hit J and it starts up your warp drive, and then it shoots you forward. And usually you end up at like flying into a sun
Yeah.
That sounds right.
because it drops you off in that system, in the middle of the system. While the middle of the system is always going to be their star.
Yeah.
So you're flying and it's like, and you're like, pull up,
Pull
like,
up.
You have to know as soon as you exit warp
to hit.
To
pull up.
turn.
or turn.
just
Yeah.
crash.
And it's supposed to have every star in the Milky Way. It's all in the Milky Way.
Well, there's Soul, like Soul's
Yeah,
in there,
Soul's
so you
in
can
there.
actually get to.
The next.
And there's a
system.
ton of unexplored. So if you this one is like No Man's Sky 2, where if you find a planet that no one else has, you can
And
it'll
you
be
can pee
like-
on it and then call it yours.
You can be like, this planet was discovered by blah 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 commander whatever,
Yeah.
and it'll be there forever.
So the nice thing about this game, it sounds like there's the player base isn't as huge. So basically, anyone can. It's still fair game.
It's big enough, but again, you don't really see we see ships. You see the trail of ships,
Yeah.
And those are actual players, though.
There's actually-
some
some
are
of them-
NPCs.
Oh.
and you don't really know the difference in the
Start a
long
fight.
run, but you can.
Do you have
so here's
guns?
the
Turn a
thing.
dogfight.
Yes.
Yes.
Done.
And combat is so difficult.
Well, because
Just
again,
like
it's a
real.
dogfight in
Space.
3D space.
Yeah.
So if you had a VR like headset, would it make
Maybe
this
easier.
game easier?
Maybe.
Apparently, people love this game in VR.
I was gonna say 'cause
VR with a flight stick. I think
People-
I think you've hit it like
You'd
right
be
on the head.
recruited for
You'd
the
be-
Air Force.
yeah.
because you could totally be like, oh, over there.
I don't know if you can look
I
back.
don't think you can do that.
Oh, there's no like behind.
Your spaceship's pretty large. Like your ships are pretty big.
But like in terms of cockpit and stuff like that, there's no like glass behind.
No,
there.
it's pretty much kind of like think of like Millennium Falcon. Like
Oh,
you
okay.
pretty much get your front view and everything is like
awesome.
your
Yeah.
console.
But yeah, the
This
fighting
game
is.
this game seems very like well versed to have controllers like Vive controller support,
It could.
Yeah.
where you could be like, hit the buttons there.
Yeah.
Well, because
thing.
so when we do, because we have the expansion, we got the expansion pack. That means that you can
can
buy
make an
you can buy
avatar.
ships
Yeah.
and make your little avatar. But some ships have extra like space for another person.
You can get
So
crew members.
Brian, being the veteran of this game,
I wasn't that much of a veteran.
bought the bigger ship.
So one of you flies, one of you fires.
Yes.
Yeah. He was my gunner.
So I'm the
So do
gun.
you tell him don't get cocky, kid?
I did not say that.
Well, no, because
Well,
we
missed
didn't actually
opportunity.
shoot. We
We
didn't
didn't-
actually
we
shoot
didn't go
anything
into
but
the-
asteroids.
yeah, we were
We
mining.
went
You
mi-
start.
We went mining.
We shot asteroids to mine like minerals and stuff.
It'd be Star Wars.
Star Wars.
So you go to an
yeah.
asteroid belt, and you're
could be
literally
like-
like, my job is, as Brian is trying to scoop up the stuff that's
Yeah.
falling off of the
Yeah.
asteroid.
Sure.
So, it's pretty cool.
But the other piece of it too is when you land, there's this like the store,
Yeah.
and from there you can buy stuff. So like I bought a hauler. I got a new ship, and it's a hauler, so it has 8 cargo
Does
spaces.
it holler?
Holla,
Holla. No, it hauls things.
holla, holla the hauler.
But so I can put stuff in there,
It's a nameplate.
and
Good name is the
so
holla.
and thankfully this is the part where like Brian and I were talking. He's like, I don't buy any of the stuff to trade because that's what you do. Is obviously something that's big on one planet that they make a lot of. They export to other.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Animal Crossing.
The economy of
Stupid
this game is
fruits.
pretty cool.
Well, but
yeah.
so here's the thing: is Brian's like, I'm not like, oof, and I'm like, oh man, because I love doing that kind of stuff. But then you need pretty much a spreadsheet book
yeah, to write.
as you're writing stuff.
There
down.
is
It
one
sounds like
online.
Eve.
No. But here's the thing: the game actually does a great job of you go into the thing,
Yeah.
like in the storefront, you click the top button, and you go, I want to compare to this, like section of space, like these planets essentially, and it goes, oh. Well, from here, we export this to that planet, and we import this from that planet.
Uh-huh.
So you can sit there going, oh! So if I'm going back to that sector, I can buy 5 of these, and they should sell for more than I've
more
bought
than
them
you
for.
bought them for. Yeah.
So you don't actually, the guesswork's really taken.
It's just basically the legwork of bringing it back and forth.
But if you're already doing a mission that has you flying from A to B, you might as well take that extra cargo with you and
If you don't,
so-
if you have cargo space.
So,
can
question:
have
is there an actual story to Elite Dangerous?
apparently yes.
there is. There's this.
Brian told me there was, I'm not sure about it.
There's this insectoid race. I don't know much about it. I've been trying
And
to
this
read
is an
up on
online
it.
only game, right?
Dogfight.
No, you can play solo.
You can play solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where it's just NPCs. No.
So how
other-
would you how does Planet Discovery work then? In that case,
Yes.
You have to get a good ship that can jump a lot of light years.
So
Or
you can have
it-
like your
it
own
counts the
universe where it's
miles
like
on
I've
it.
peed on every single planet in this galaxy.
If you get that far, it's pretty a lot of space. Everyone starts in the same place.
Sure.
And everything around that is pretty well discovered.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's a giant map. Like if you zoom out,
Oh, yeah. No,
there's like no dots in like large spaces. Like no one's explored there. But
See, I got that feeling from like Mass Effect. Not saying that those are the same.
but the same kind of, feeling.
yeah,
But yeah, this game feels big. You once you get into it, you're okay. But yeah, Brian,
Sounds
when
super complicated.
well, Brian
is
logged in
very
yesterday, and I was
complicated.
sitting there because
I feel like I would play this game, but only in VR. I wouldn't play it in outside.
well,
of
and
VR.
I aimed for like a space station because I had to deliver something to the space station, and for whatever reason, like it kept trying to land me on this planet, and I'm like, what the? I had to go around.
Yeah.
the planet.
There's
I was getting to the
gravitational
point where I was
pulls,
just
there's
like, I was
swearing.
ready to start throwing things
Yeah.
and swearing, and then Brian got on last night, and I'm like, hey, I bought the game that you told me to buy.
And I swear.
You are now showing me how to play.
because the tutorial is very
Oy.
It's vague.
non-educational.
It's very non-educational,
Yeah.
and then there's like
Press
tutorial.
A to continue.
Well, no, and then there's tutorial videos, so I'm like, I
Yeah.
will watch that. They are they just play the tutorial.
yeah.
But it's a
And
guy who knows what the hell he's doing, so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna thrust her here and go up
Yeah.
here and shoot this guy, and now he's dead, and I'm like,
And they don't really tell you what each thing in the HUD means.
right.
So I had to like go and research all this stuff, and like your HUD is pretty elaborate, but I have no idea what some of the stuff is for. But apparently everything tells you a little bit of information.
Join the subreddit.
Oh yeah, I
I
have.
was gonna say like, why don't you just join the subreddit? I
But
feel
now
like
a lot of the subreddit is filled with a lot of like. Now there's a lot of veteran players taking beautiful pictures, and like some of the graphics are amazing, and they're taking
nice
beautiful
game, too.
pictures of like their ship with like a nice star in the background with a planet over here. A lot of pictures.
Brian also gypped me because I was his co-pilot, and
Did he eject you in the middle of a ship?
no, you can't do that.
So I do have to pay him, like,
Ah!
but he only got 70
70 credits. So we went mining for what, a good hour.
Yeah. And let's see, we got what,
And you
1,400 credits.
Yeah, you sold
for
1,400 credits worth of crap, and I got 70
Yeah,
credits.
70 credits.
That's how you
Yeah,
make
you
that.
got too
That's a
cocky.
businessman's decision.
Well,
Right?
no. So here's the thing:
That's how the working man works.
it automatically tallies that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
I don't control it.
If we would have done, and here's where we also screwed up. We should have taken, because there's mining quests.
Yeah.
If we would have taken a mining mission, I would have received way more.
Yeah, the
'Cause
mining
the whole
quest, you
point
get,
to
like,
going into
60
another
some
person's
thousand
ship is you
credits.
get bonuses to everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, Brian made off with $1,400 and Nick left with... No, he
30.
didn't actually have to, it didn't take it off of his.
Yeah.
It just says, oh, Nick, for your contributions,
You're 70.
collect your 70 credits. Yeah, which pays for Dick.
That's how the working
It
man
adds
works
up in
nowadays.
time.
It paid for my gas.
It doesn't even pay for your gas.
It does. The gas is actually like
It's pretty cheap.
I was worried about that because you land and it's like, would you like to refill your gas? And I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be one of
Yeah.
those games where I'm out in space going like,
It's
Help
like
me.
26 credits, 10 credits.
yeah.
for-
You land and it's like, you're at, you've lost an eighth of a tank and it's
Yeah.
like 10 credits and I'm like, whew, gas
And you
is
can buy like an add-on for your ship later in the game where you can scoop up fuel from suns, like scoop up.
Oh, it's just
Gases.
siphon from other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Look over there.
You can be a pirate.
You
That
can
is the
be a
thing.
pirate.
Like when I had to create a crew, I don't know if you saw this, but when I create
Yeah.
a crew, you have a drop-down menu of you have to tell like whoever you're hiring what your intention is, like your job missions are.
Pirate.
And yeah, there's pirate in there.
There's
Yeah.
And I
pirate.
was like, okay.
We're gonna do pirate. You okay with that? I thought you already chose it.
Well, and it's like I'm scared to get into fights with people in this
Yeah.
game and especially
Do it.
being the gunner, he has to get different guns for one thing. I can only use turreted weapons.
Yeah, it's basically get better
Star
weapons, or else
Wars.
I'm not gonna join your crew.
Some
I
guns
can't.
only I can use, and some guns both.
So
of
the
us.
only guns I can use on his ship are his mining lasers, which in a fight, like, yippee ki yay.
Guardians of Galaxy had.
They had like 3,000 mining lasers.
Yeah.
You have two pretty crappy mining lasers.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very
Good point.
different kind of game.
That's a good point.
But yeah, it's
I just
kind
have to buy you more money.
well, my current ship only has one laser, so
Yeah.
Pew pew.
well, because again, the different ships have different.
Perks and
They have different things. So my ship is meant to take cargo,
not meant to fight.
not meant to fight.
But you can always smash other people with your ship.
Kamikaze.
Not kamikaze.
And there is insurance in the game.
Yeah, there's insurance. If you crash your ship, you have to pay an amount to get it back, or
Oh,
you have
see,
to
that's where I lose
start
my money.
at the shittiest ship again.
That's
It's
where I
not
lose my
bad.
money.
Just like real life.
My ship that I paid 300 some credits, 1,000 credits.
350,000 credits.
The rebuy cost is 20,000.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. Maybe
The credits come pretty quick once you get
Yeah.
moving.
Once you steal from your employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Once I
Thievery.
enslaved them.
I had fun. That was all that I needed.
That's my pay.
Well, because it's cool, because he's flying, and I'm just like, what can I do in this ship?
Yeah.
So I'm
He
going
would
to all my
beep, beep, beep,
different
Oh, so
screens.
you're the passenger that's just pressing buttons.
Anything that I can press.
Make sure you get your seat trays upright position.
And the cool, okay, so the cool part
Oh,
is
yeah.
when we became wingmates, so you can, if you want to just do two ships, you can, like, wingmates.
That's what I would do.
But the best part is it opens comms between you two, so we shut off Discord, because the comms in the game actually muffle your voice like they're coming out of a comm system.
Yeah, it sounds very real.
And when it detects his voice, it was literally doing the whole, like, beep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch space
Yeah.
movies and they're communicating between each other and you get that, like,
Yeah.
beep and the crackle. You get that, and then I hear his voice, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Over.
Weird though, when he's in my
You have
ship,
to
it
say
still
over?
sounds the same, even though he's right beside me.
Yeah, so I press the one button and I can look at this screen, but also see Brian, and we're talking to each other, and it's still like,
Yeah.
Brian, why are you going in
Well,
that
the way
direction?
sound works, it's different
I
in space.
hear
Yes,
chatting.
because
Chatting.
chatting is here.
Longest
A
time
board game.
board game.
I had that board
We
game.
played Risk for...
Oh, I
Risk
remember
is
that.
probably the big
I
one.
We
remember
did play
that.
Risk.
And I was
I
almost
played
ready to
Risk.
punch you because you were so good at it, and I couldn't roll any.
You held Australia for like an hour.
You
Australia was one
also
place.
Australia. If you hold
That's the
Australia,
best.
you are a dick.
No, you're not. That's
We
a
had all-
strategy.
we had all 6 armies out.
Australia, you only have to defend 2 points.
One.
Oh, it's 1 point.
One
It's a
point.
chokehold.
It's a
Oh, then it's
chokehold.
even worse.
I know, but he had the rest of the. He had rest
I
of
had the rest of the map.
That's where you start moving out slowly.
No,
But you can't.
he couldn't.
I couldn't. He was
He'd
too.
fight back. I'd fight back. He'd fight. Like, we stalemated at
Yeah.
Australia for a good hour. And we had all the colors on the board. Like, I had, like... And his army in Australia was huge.
I would just keep adding to Australia.
We should play Risk sometime.
I got so frustrated.
When
I was
we
ready
have
to like
time.
be like,
I've
I'm
got a
gonna
Metal-
strike all your.
I've Metal
do
Gear
I.
Solid 4 Risk.
No.
I have a friend. Well, not my friend. It's my
A
brother's
long
friend.
time.
He would
Long.
play Risk, but every time it was a battle, instead of rolling the dice, he'd play a game of Magic. And this game lasted weeks.
Yeah.
For every battle, they played a game of Magic, and whoever won, then they figured out how many.
Wow.
That seems like a lot.
Or you could just play Risk.
Yeah.
'Cause that already
There's
takes
already
long
a
enough.
game.
They didn't want that randomization.
No, because there was one. I remember there was one game where I did that. I think Ross actually had chokehold Australia, and I think you
Like, we got you guys to keep track of who was losing characters.
Oh, probably.
Because I had everything else, and I had to move into Australia. But
Yeah.
Ross had that chokehold.
Risk is the like.
It's a pretty big offender.
Risk is the game that it just keeps going and going. And
We
going.
did have that one fundraiser where we played board games for 24 hours.
I get that.
No, I
It
think
wasn't
for
the
a
same
single
game.
game though.
But this
it was-
is like playing a board game.
Oh, a
Yeah.
board game.
We should play Metal Gear Solid 4 Risk.
No.
Just regular Risk.
Metal Gear Solid 4 Risk.
What is if there's like a Star Wars Risk?
There is a Star Wars
Oh,
Risk.
is there Star
There's
Wars
a couple of them. They have one where it's Star Wars
Batman
episode.
Risk.
Pokemon Risk.
Nope. Nope. I'd be too competitive. No, there's a Star Wars one where they actually have the Order 66 rule
Oh, really?
from Episode 3, where
Yeah.
if the Order actually gets up to 66,
Yeah.
all the stormtroopers change factions.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'm good with just
And it's
regular
super
Risk.
weird. It is super weird. I wouldn't play that, but the Metal Gear one is pretty close to a regular Risk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
From
I
my
do
experience.
have the board game if you want me to bring it over one day.
we'll plan for that one day, I guess. But
I
yeah,
do
like
Risk.
Risk
I
would
get
be
very
the
competitive in that game, though.
Risk would be the longest board game I have played, and yeah, that
Yes,
was.
I would.
Monopoly is a pretty close as well.
I've never finished a game of Monopoly because
There is no finish.
There is.
There
It's
is.
just You play actually
You
by the
have
rules.
to outweigh the other person.
You also
No,
don't
just-
trade. Don't
just
trade. Don't
play-
don't trade.
Yeah.
Trade.
No trading.
There is trade. Yeah, I agree that the trading.
You have to
but you
trade.
just have to. If
You have to make the right trades,
you have to outweigh the other person.
and you have to be
Yes.
ready to lose something to gain something in
Yeah.
in
Just like
Monopoly.
real life.
That's,
just
well,
like
but
real
that's
life,
the
you got to
thing, people-
spend money to make money.
Well, people with Monopoly is always funny because you sit there going like
The free
okay,
space is also the big thing that slows down a lot of games down.
Well, it depends how you play with the free.
The free space is just free space.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's an empty
Well,
space.
there's
empty
I've
space.
played with rules where you
Yes.
it's for the money.
Yeah.
That's what slows it down. But that's what I'm saying. So like if you want all the yellow spaces, like if you have two of the yellows and one red, and the other person has two reds and one
Like, see, that's I think they're the.
that's
I've
where you
always
have to
played
do
it
risk
is
versus reward.
Yeah.
If,
Add risk.
if you each have two or something and the other one has that, well, your spot's in a better spot than mine. Why would I want to trade you?
Yeah, that's true. Like if
But
you're,
you-
But that's always been the.
I know
argument.
you always get that one person, and you sit there going, "Fine then," because you're not going to make any money off of that space unless you get like houses and hotels on
Right,
it.
yeah,
Like,
one space.
your job is then to convince them, like, if you get this, yes, I get this,
but
but
you
the
got to
two
give
of
me
us,
something else.
the two of us are going to be useless until we both get a monopoly. Like, we need
The name of the game.
a space, especially once all the like places are taken and there's 4 people all sitting there with spaces that are worth $20.
Well, yeah, and when we did our little
When we did the
charity
barrel
thing, the
for
only
kids,
reason
yeah.
why me and Anthony won is because I think Graham made a very stupid trade on your part.
No, I made him make that trade.
No, I don't think you were up for it. He did it.
No, I'm always up for trades.
But it benefited me really well, and
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like you have to. That's the thing, though. It's like
that's where I feel you have to outweigh the other person.
you just have to have something they want, and everybody has to realize that you need monopolies to actually progress in the game of Monopoly. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of people going around,
Around
the
a
board
circle.
over and over and over
Yeah,
and
as soon
over
as
and
all-
over and over.
As soon as that one piece is bought, then trades start happening.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as someone like has a monopoly, or all 4 of them like railroads
Airports.
or the
Yeah.
airports, it's Monopoly. They're
I was thinking
railroads.
of the Canadian one for a second.
Yeah, there's the.
The electronic one,
Yeah.
such a pain.
See, and I do enjoy that's why I enjoy Monopoly on a computer or on a system. Because it makes sure that there is no rule, like you know exactly what the rules are.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't deviate from.
Yeah, things progress as they should actually progress, and
well, the thing that slows it down with the Canadian one is it's electronic. It does credit cards instead of actual
It's
money.
super weird.
Oh.
And so the banker has to constantly be taking cards and switching out cards.
That's annoying.
It's a real. If you're the banker, it's a really big pain in the butt.
as opposed to just going.
Just play Pokemon Monopoly. I've got Pokemon Monopoly. We'll just play that one.
I have Spider-Man and regular Monopoly.
I do not have Monopoly.
I think I might somewhere.
Either way, that's all.
That's all you did.
Whoop.
There's too many.
Yeah.
There's too many cards against too many cards.
I haven't played that game
I
in
was gonna say, it's
forever.
been a
There's
while.
quite a few versions.
I think they've slowed down.
They slowed down.
They've slowed down. They've changed their marketing.
Yeah.
They actually made a chip this year for their Black Friday.
Oh.
They made Prongles.
I saw that.
That's actually from the Cards Against Humanity guy.
I don't know. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
No, there's too many.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Okay, all right. Correction. There's some that I really like, but I can't I can't say them on here.
Yeah, why not?
It's not after hours.
It's not after hours with penises.
Is it an icy something from an Edmonton something?
Yeah,
that's a pretty
that's
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
The Pac-Man one's real good.
I'm an effing wizard, or I'm a mother effing wizard.
The Pac-Man one's real funny.
Yeah, gobbling. Yep.
That one's real good.
Yeah,
that one's a lot for me. Because it's just ridiculous.
I at one point did have Auschwitz and the Jews on. Like,
I've done that one too.
I've had like both of them in my hand waiting.
I played
Oh my gosh.
when we went on our trip to Mexico. I brought Cards Against Humanity with us, and I played the hardworking Mexican. What's something? Or it's like, what did I bring back from my trip or something like that? Hardworking Mexican. I was like, oh. It's a lot of good cards in Cards Against Humanity are situational too.
Very situational.
Where it's like, oh, that's very relevant to this time, in our dying time.
Or you get a card, it's like, wow, this is useless. And
Google Play, you were doing a heck of a job making some really good art for your movies. Just saying. Jumanji just changed. It's gorgeous.
really?
Netflix is always changing too.
Rogue One. Movies I have not seen.
Did you finish Punisher?
No, I've not. I haven't even got
I'm
past
about a
episode
third
1.
of the way in that one. So
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I watched the newest episode.
As did I.
The Venue.
Never heard of it.
That's the one with the vulture. We
Yeah.
talked about that one last
They got
week.
get their wedding venue.
Oh, I haven't
No,
seen
that
two
was-
turkeys.
no,
I
that
haven't
was
seen
last
two
week's.
turkeys.
That
I
was
haven't
last
seen two
week's.
turkeys yet. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this.
Well, I haven't seen it. Oh, okay.
Two
I haven't
turkeys
seen
is
that
the
one.
one.
It's
I'm
their
waiting to
Thanksgiving
watch.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's pretty
okay,
funny.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's basically the Santiago's parents meets Peralta's parents.
Oh, okay.
for
Yes, I have seen
Thanksgiving.
that. Right, and they like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
and then
no,
stuff happens, and it's just shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
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 I'm waiting on that one.
I found it last night, so
TV. I haven't watched. I've been playing games.
cool.
I've been watching some YouTube.
Oop, too.
I found these two guys. They do a Let's Play, and I showed you guys last week. They did the threes for NHL, the new
Yes,
NHL
you
game.
showed us part of that, yeah.
Yeah, I showed you part of it, but it's three guys playing the 3-on-3 hockey game that's in the new NHL this year, and they've done 2 episodes now of it. So the first game that they have to play is against the Oilers, and Hunter comes out partway through, and they're all like, "What's going on?" Because they were very confused. But then after that game's really funny because they're like, "We faced the Oilers. Their next game's against the Oil Kings." Then they have to go against the Red Deer Rebels.
So they're staying in Alberta.
Well, yeah, it's a Pacific, like you follow the train, but they're like, why did we start with the Oilers?
Oh, that's
Like,
true.
why do we have to face the Oilers first? This makes no sense. Like,
There's a precursor to this year. That's why you start with the Oilers.
but it's like the stats on the Oilers are huge, and these guys are starting with like their stats are overall 58 for offense, 56 for defense, and their goalie's okay. But like they're starting with these mediocre stats versus the Oilers, who are kicking their butts, and then it goes into Oil Kings,
who are okay.
who they won against, and then the best part was they were against the Red Deer Rebels. And what happens when Hunter comes out is in the second period of this 3-on-3 thing, one of the players on their team goes, and they're like, "Oh no, there's a mascot for the Red Deer!" Like, "Oh no!" It's Ryan Nugent Hopkins who walks out because he's like he used to play for he used to play for them, so it's like the superstar, and they're like, "That's not a mascot. Who the heck is Ryan Nugent Hopkins?"
Nuge. And
But so it's funny to watch them because they kind of know hockey,
Yeah.
but watching the three of them try to play together is just madness.
This is madness. That's funny.
So they're pretty funny. As I'm talking about them, I should probably name drop them. But
YouTube channel.
yeah, so go and watch them on the YouTubes once you're done watching us on the YouTubes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Or Twitch or whatever.
they are literally called Let's Play. That is their channel.
Sweet.
So check them out because they're pretty funny guys.
Cool.
But yeah, it's literally just Let's Play. I'll put a link somewhere on our YouTube page or something, just so you guys can.
Social media.
Yeah.
Social media.
A shout out to them because I had entertaining couple of episodes watching them dig around on hockey. So I'm done. That was a lot. Sorry. Continue. Oh wait, your turn.
Sure.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah, it's birthday.
Chris has been waiting to eat these cupcakes for a really long
Sitting in
time.
front of me.
Here,
Red
take
velvet.
one.
Alright, you're the birthday
You have
boy.
to take one first.
Yeah, you're the birthday boy.
Do you want pink
I'll take them.
That doesn't affect me. I work in a school.
You have all the germs.
Everything is licked.
Pre-licked. Yes. It is my birthday.
You took pink.
Uh-huh. Well, technically,
Kinky.
cool.
That's right.
After
I'll lick you after hours. Not actually cream-filled.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
But yes, so I finally got my Pokemon Ultra Sun to work.
And
Excellent.
The weirdest thing to fix that, because last week I was trying to get to work and it kept freezing on me. Like it locked my system up. And I figured out that if I boot the game and keep it in airplane mode, it doesn't lock up. Which is a weird thing. Either way, I'm not complaining about that. It's still a great game. I don't really need to straight pass anyone because all my puzzles are done. So it's Pokemon again. There are some subtle changes and subtle differences so far. There is new characters that come along. The Ultra Squad or Ultra Recon Squad. They are
Team Rocket?
No, it's not. It's not Team Rocket. They come from a alternate universe where I know about the trick too. The sandwich
What?
trick. It's the sandwich trick. That way you don't get icing on the top of your mouth and all over.
I just lick it.
So basically, it's just them trying to figure out what this universe is, what Alola is all about, and watching them try to figure out how to catch or capture Pokemon. Because in their universe, they don't have Pokemon.
Right.
So it's our universe.
It's a version of an alternate universe.
It's our version.
They have Pokemon monsters in theirs, but they don't capture them apparently, or something to that effect. So it was very new to them when they could use their balls to catch Pokemon in our world. I don't know. I'm still very early on.
Freezing.
No phrasing.
Phrasing.
No phrasing here. So I'm very early on in that game because I have had to put it down for other games. The library finally came through with some games for me to play. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a game.
There's
Sure
new
is.
DLC. They announced new characters.
They announced new characters. They had already announced them, but they had a trailer to show them off.
Yeah, Venom, Black
Venom
Widow,
and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
And
Venom
weird-
sounds like Carnage. Messed up.
Yeah, they're taking a bit of a Carnage look to it, but I think they're following along with the newer comics.
He looks like Venom, but he sounds like Carnage.
I think he's a little bit more like the current Venom. Carnage is a little crazier than what you can.
No, but it's like Venom's voice has always been the like deep
Higher
rasp.
pitch?
Yeah.
No, he's deep rasp. Carnage is the
I was
one.
gonna say, yeah,
yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Sorry.
So, but either way, I had a chance to play the single player mode, and it's a mess. That single
Oh, cupcake.
no chocolate. The single player feels like a weird mismatch between a fan theory, like a fan developed story between Capcom and Marvel characters. And let's just get this out of the way. It doesn't feel like Marvel versus Capcom. It feels like Disney versus Capcom. It's very Disney versus Capcom.
Very Disney versus.
Because it's like, oh, there's no Cyclops in this game. There's no Magneto in this game. There's none of those Fox characters.
Yeah.
But you get Captain Marvel.
But Captain Marvel is in the Marvel under the Marvel line.
But you get a new character.
I think there's a very small handful of new characters, and a lot of this game, the story revolves around like, hey, these two universes have already meshed. Kind of go at it from there, and a lot of it is assumptions on the player base. It's like, oh, these guys already know each other, so it's like Ryu's walking up to Captain America and it's like, hey, remember that thing that happened already? And like, this is like the first 5.
It's number 2, isn't it?
This is Infinite.
4.
This is the
So
4th
they
one.
already know they've been
But
in 3 different fights already.
But this is they've wiped the slate clean in terms of story mode, because this is actually the first story mode for a Marvel Infinite or Marvel Capcom game.
Yeah.
The first ever like actual solo mode, and yeah, there's as you progress through the story, there's clearly moments. The way I see it is that it's basically a giant D&D campaign, where it's a group of these characters going to, say, Wakanda, and it's like Ryu, Hulk, Captain America, and who was that 4th character? I can't remember who it
A
was.
healer?
It felt like basically a giant D&D campaign, and the computer
Who's the
ran.
healer?
I don't know. No, I think it was Chun-Li. Chun-Li, that was one.
She doesn't heal.
She doesn't heal. No one actually heals in that game.
Who's the bard?
Looking at her legs,
I
yes.
don't know.
Usually it's like D&D.
It felt like a D&D campaign where it's like a group of them just going to
A
one
really
place.
bad D&D campaign where
A
they
really
forgot
poor-
to bring the healer.
Well, they forgot to bring a lot of things, like the other half of the Marvel license. And
Fine, dog, take over for me.
it just feels really ramshackle and thrown together as a story because it's like,
okay.
it would be really cool if we could put Hulk and Ryu into the same sequence. No, it's really not that good. It's in the fights. The good part about it is the game mechanics because it plays really well.
Really well.
As a Capcom fighter. Like
Is this that other game you were talking about when Nick was talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
Other comic book
Other
fighting
comic
game.
book fighting game.
Because Injustice, I had a great time with Injustice too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gameplay was good, but the story was also
Really?
there to back it up. But the story mode in Marvel Infinite just seems so pieced together from fan fiction, basically.
Oh, I
It basically seems like one giant fan fiction of what if Capcom and Marvel characters got together? That'd be great. It's not.
It's not a like.
It's
It's not a bad way to
My-
approach it if you do it right.
But the problem is there is so little context to why these two universes have meshed. The only thing they call it is a convergence, and it's basically from Ultron and Sigma, Ultron from the Marvel universe and Sigma from the Capcom Mega Man
Mega
universe.
Man.
They basically merged the two universes together, and they called this event the convergence. And they don't really talk about what that event was. It's always 83 days since the convergence, 84 days since the convergence, or 1 day to the convergence, and it's never. They don't really explain what this event is, other than it just happens.
Would it almost be better if they had just been like, yeah, they exist in the same universe and call it a day?
Yes,
Like, because it's not
it
like
feels like
Street Fighter. I mean, you've been fighting around the world all this time. It's not like
No.
New York doesn't exist and China, like China and Japan don't exist. Like, it's not like the world doesn't exist. You
And
can
the-
just be like, oh yeah,
and the-
Ken's from
and the
New
weird
York.
and the weird part about this game is that they try to mesh the worlds so much together, where that they literally mesh the names of places. So
Oh.
it's nowhere mixed with the universe where Strider is from.
Okay.
One of his planets. I think it's like something Moon. So they call it No Moon. Or
There's no moon.
and it's like
There
what's
is no moon.
Wakanda.
There's no spoon.
Wakanda and one of the villages from Monster Hunter, they called it Wakanda or something like that. And I'm just like, it's just Wakanda. It is literally just Wakanda.
But why not just have Wakanda and then have
Whatever the
Monster Hunter thing?
No,
Yeah.
like I said, this seems like a really massive fan fiction story.
Yeah, but fanfics are usually like a little bit more coherent.
Okay, sorry, shitty fan fiction.
Okay.
Shitty
thank you.
fan
It's
fiction.
like a shitty fan fiction. There's a Thanos storyline put into it. Eventually, when you start getting to use the Infinity Stones, the gameplay starts changing rapidly. Just because you pick your two characters, you get your super meter, but you also have an Infinity Stone. So each stone has their different effects. So, was it time, reality, space, soul, power, and mind?
Mind.
Yeah.
So, for the story purposes, you will always get one stone. Some of them you'll get to swap between two stones, but for the main part of the story, you only get to use one. And that happens halfway through as you start collecting the stones to try and face off against Ultra and Sigma. My favorite is the time stone. And each stone has their own effect, so you can activate it. The time stone basically warps you halfway across the screen, and you can use it unlimited times, basically. So the power stone will give you a wall bounce. So when you hit them with the effect, it hits them across the screen, they wall bounce, and then you can additionally do some more combo
Can you
damage.
juggle them?
Yes, with the power stone. The reality stone, basically it's a free fireball without any motion. It'll throw a random. And you can use these effects unlimitedly during online game.
OP.
It is. The soul stone is the worst of them. It is the most overpowered because it allows you to, if you hit them with the effect, you actually gain life from it.
Ooh.
Yes.
While they lose health.
Well,
you
yes,
gain life.
they'll take some damage and then you
want that
you
one.
recover some health. And right now, from my understanding, is in competitive MVC or Marvel Infinite, that is the most used stone.
Makes sense.
Eventually, when you fill up the Infinity Stone's meter, you can activate a Infinity Surge, and it's basically a souped-up effect of which that stone is. So, for example, the space.
Super vampirism.
So with the Soul Stone, let's just get into that. That's the most broken one. You get into all your health starts to regen from both your characters, And the worst part about it is, if you've got a character that's knocked out already, because you have to beat down both characters.
Right.
If you've got a character that's knocked down, it instantly brings them back up.
Holy crap.
Your other character. And then they fight
you
with
s-
you.
It's Mortal Kombat.
So,
They
Wow.
steal
so
their
you
soul.
can get into a situation where if both players have the Soul Stone,
Yep.
you can have 4 characters on the screen at the same time doing the same motions as
Is
each other.
Shang Tsung really in this game?
And it gets
That
worse.
sounds like a Shang Tsung.
And it gets worse because Morgan is a character from Darkstalkers.
Yep.
Her super basically duplicates herself.
Oh gosh.
So you can have 2 Morgans on screen, both doing the same super. You can have 8 characters on screen at once.
Holy cow.
And it does. Kudos to them. That engine seems fine. It seems to work out.
support that.
Yeah, it is. It allows the craziness of what that game is. I like the Soul Stone, but I think my personal favorite is the Time Stone because it allows you to move back and forth between combos. With
Soul-sucking.
with the Infinity Surge, it basically grants you an additional hit on all your attacks because of the way the time works. You hit them twice. The Space Stone is fun because it actually locks your opponent in a square and they can't move out of that square. For its Infinity Surge. So you can basically lock them in a corner and do air combos with them while they fall back and forth in a confined square. So those Infinity Stones really change.
Interesting.
Yes, the Infinity Stones change the way that game is played, especially when it comes to 1v1 and competitive and stuff like that. The story is just terrible. The story, like I said, it leaves a lot of open-ended discussions. It's like, why would Thanos want to do certain events? And basically, the whole
Thanos.
basically the premise is one of the characters from Darkstalkers. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's the vampire character. Basically, he makes a deal with Death in the Marvel universe.
Lady Death.
Lady Death, Mistress Death is in this game, not as a playable character, just as a story
Sorry,
character.
We just have to figure out
There's a
which
story
death
character.
it is. There's different deaths.
Yes, there's different death, but this is Miss Lady Death, and so basically they form an alliance, and Thanos is like, "What the fuck? Like what shit? I thought we had a thing." And so it's the last half of the story is Thanos trying to find ways to go against them. Have we played the? I've put about half an hour into that.
I've put about
I-
15 minutes.
I'm not interested in it at all.
Nick's played it.
I think we have the same consensus that we got bored.
I think there's not enough simplicity to the game. I think it's way too complex for a mobile game.
Yeah.
It's very
Like
complicated.
it's not casual. Like it's definitely not casual.
I think you would enjoy it.
It's very much like an Animal Crossing game.
So,
But I have Animal Crossing.
which is
Exactly.
the big
If you
piece is-
have it on the
if you have-
3DS.
if you have it on any other platform,
I'm waiting for it
Say
on
that.
the Switch. I think 90% of us are
Yeah.
looking for that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like for us, we don't have an interest towards it.
No.
I
Not
booted it
at
up.
all.
I might uninstall it.
Did
actually.
not even try it.
Again, I love Animal Crossing, and when
Yes.
this came out, I was like, the update to the 3DS game, the camping version in
This
that,
feels like that.
Well, but that was nice in the 3DS version when it was like, hey, like there's this big update coming out, and it actually changes a piece of the game, and it's
Yeah.
adding stuff, and I'm like, cool. Now it's like this one came out, and I'm like, but I have Animal Crossing.
Yeah. It's very Animal Crossing.
Are there
But just-
microtransactions?
Yes.
Yes.
And then it's not Animal Crossing.
I don't want to see an Animal Crossing with loot boxes.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh God.
All your songs.
All right, I've downloaded it.
It actually takes a long time to boot.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, Marvel Infinite, it's not a bad game. I just
No,
think
it's
that
not bad, yeah.
the story is what's. If you're getting it for the story, don't get it for the story.
I always
yeah.
get it for the story.
Don't get it for the story.
Yeah.
Get it for the game mechanics. The gameplay is really good. The
Yeah.
fighting mechanics are really nice. Some of the DLC characters look really cool. Winter Soldier actually has an effect where, with his metal arm, he can actually not only block full screen attacks,
Yeah.
but he can actually move forward in the beams, which
Oh.
which actually changes the gameplay up. So
Yeah.
if you've got Ryu throwing a full screen fireball, you block with his arm, and he just walks forward and then just kind of continues. It's basically like a weird metal arm shield counter. Like you would think that Captain America would have that. Basically.
Yeah, with a shield.
You
yeah.
would think Captain America would have something like that, but my complaint with Marvel Infinite is that all the characters that exist in other Marvel games are literally a carbon copy with 2 or 3 additional moves. They did not
okay.
change anything
I see.
about in them. there's subtle differences. Dante is a little bit better, I think, just because he can now shoot with his guns, like in the Devil May
Old
Cry games.
Dante or new Dante?
New Dante, or not new Dante, old Dante from Devil May Cry
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's
And
that
4?
Dante, not new Dante.
4.
Four.
Oh yeah, 4 is a game.
DMC was the
4 was bad.
Where it changed.
DMC was the new one. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I didn't
DMC.
mind
Was it
either.
okay?
Yeah, that one was good. That one was good. But I think in terms of, and again, that if you're gonna do new stuff, why don't they do that Dante?
Because
Like
people didn't like that Dante.
I was neutral towards it.
liked him.
I was neutral towards it. If I had a preference, I liked the old one, but I didn't have a problem with the new one. Captain America's got a few new shield tricks as well. His shield actually has a
How does
weird.
it go?
Stars and stripes. Stars and stripes. Stars and stripes.
Okay, so my big problem with the story mode, and that this is a game mechanic mode, you can't turn off easy combos or easy hypers in the
that's
game.
weird.
So I found myself playing the single player because I like to think I know how to play a Marvel game
Or a fighting game.
or a fighting game in general, and so I can do the quarter circle 2 punches. I can do that, but for some reason, like every once in a while, it'll say easy combo or auto combo. Like I didn't want to do an auto combo. I know how to do air combos. And yeah, like overall, that game is just not a mess. It's having an identity crisis. Like it doesn't, like it should be a great game, but the story mode is not there.
Stars and stripes. I missed the old one where they actually like announced their moves as
They still do that.
Oh, good.
They still do that to some extent. Spider-Man, I don't like the character model for Spider-Man. He is incredibly buff. He's like Ryu buff.
He's like
Yes. You can look it up later.
1990s Spider-Man cartoon.
the-
buff.
He's super
Yeah,
buff.
but even he wasn't like his
He wasn't
arms
super
were.
buff.
Yeah, his arms were buff. He wasn't like.
Yeah.
Super.
He wasn't like.
When I think Spider-Man, I think
Swollen
lean.
like
I think lean. But his character model, and even my girl, she was watching me play, and she's like, "That's not Spider-Man. That's odd." But some of the other character models, they did perfectly fine. Like Captain America's good, Iron Man's really good. Some of the Capcom characters are really, really good. Morgan's really nice.
Oh, they went with the McFarlane version.
Yeah, like
All
he's
right.
like he's way more buff than he needs to be.
I'm okay with that. That's the McFarlane.
Oh, I
that's
see.
That's McFarlane's.
He's
Spider-Man.
pretty ripped.
I think seeing him in action is different than seeing the pictures, though.
Okay.
Especially in the story mode when he has some character arcs. They play with a lot of the symbiote's story as well. He's using Genova? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Can't think of his name. Either way, play Marvel Infinite. It was a
To
game.
heck with that. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done with that. It is what it is.
Is this the cutscene Spider-Man you were speaking of?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a
He
little.
looks
big-chested
really
there.
big.
Right?
Look at his neck muscles. Like those.
His neck muscles, his
That's-
pecs are like the size of his face.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Like that right there. That bad.
It's based off of this. McFarlane used to do the big Spider-Man.
the big buff
The big
Spider-Man.
buff Spider-Man. Like if you look at his muscles and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that was
but-
McFarlane.
But on a comic book page, it works differently than in motion.
That's
is the
true.
big thing.
Well, and you have to consider McFarlane was back in the early '90s, and it was essentially that's what he was doing. Was
Yeah.
Spawn and Spider-Man.
That's true. Spawn is pretty much rip.
He was.
Ripped.
Spawn was
This is how people were back in the '90s. The Spider-Man that we do have nowadays is very lean. And it's weird because Marvel vs. Capcom, he has always been a fairly lean character.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird to have a switch.
So played that. The library gave me as well South Park Butthole, Fractured Butthole.
I've heard of
I haven't put that in yet because they came at literally the same time.
Yeah.
And then the Black Friday sale started at the same time, so I haven't actually had time to put that in
I
yet.
heard it's fun, but I didn't. have a
I
chance.
might-
I
I
have
might-
it, but I haven't touched it yet.
That's me. I'm gonna probably
I
boot it up
probably
this week.
should.
Because I am in the middle of another game that I think is really, really sharp. Wolfenstein 2.
Ooh, I heard this.
Oh
is
my gosh,
very,
this game
very
is
good.
so fun. Word of warning, they did not scale the difficulty very well.
So very challenging.
So there's a couple of different difficulty levels. It's
Yeah.
like don't harm me, like hurt me more kind of stuff. But the thing is, the second to easiest difficulty level it feels like it murders you whenever you want to die. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
I've had to literally
Don't go very
I've
difficult.
literally crank it to the easiest setting. But then when I cranked it to the easiest setting, it became way too forgiving.
Two for
No,
So
that's
there-
because you've been playing on hard mode that whole time.
Yep.
So I just if you play the game, start with the easy difficulty to get used to the mechanics, and when you feel more comfortable, crank it up a little bit more. Because you can do it in the mid.
Jump right into the hardest difficult.
You're not going to get past the first level.
You don't know that.
But
I played a lot of
the
games.
game does take place literally right after the events of the first Wolfenstein.
So you do
See,
need
that's
to play
what I
the
wanna
first
start.
Wolfenstein first.
You do need to at least watch the cutscenes
Yeah.
because it's a very very old game, or buy it on Steam right now because I think it's like
Or
$12.
Yeah,
PlayStation Network.
Yeah, it's $12 right now for the Black Friday sale. I ended up buying the deluxe edition
Yeah.
for like $50,
That's not bad for a deluxe.
Which-
PlayStation has a lot of good
it's the same.
stuff.
It's the same sale on Steam.
Oh, okay.
It's the
So
same
you
Steam.
bought it on
PS4.
PS4.
Either way, it doesn't really matter
But
because
it's-
there's no multiplayer anyway, so it's doesn't
No,
matter.
but
But I for $50 I basically got all of the season pass stuff as well.
Well, that's nice.
So, which
a pretty good
original
price.
price is like $110 or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, yes, for an extra
Done.
$15, I will to get the season pass stuff. The whole man, that game looks pretty. That game is really good looking.
Really good looking.
It's good looking. The game mechanics, like I said, it's got some iffy stuff going on with it. You can dual wield every weapon except for the heavy weapons. So
nice.
so you have giant assault rifles in both arms, and you're running around Halo style, just like wasting all these Nazis. The story, I don't think I'm super far into the story yet. I got this under the assumption that there was some heavy story moments, and I'm getting to that part right now. I think because I'm basically going to try and infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan.
Ooh.
Of course.
So the big story is that in the events of after the events of Wolfenstein 1, the Nazis won the war, and it is now 1960 or something or other. They actually nuked New York City.
Oh.
Is the big story event that happened between the two games. And so after that happened, the US basically just said, "Okay, we surrendered." And so now Nazis have invaded New York City and then basically the rest of the world
Right.
from there. And you as Captain Blazkowicz, Terror Billy is what they call, because Nazis also control the media. And so everyone's kind of looking for you as you're rampaging through the streets. And now
Nazis.
yeah, and so I'm not sure where the story is quite going yet. I mean, my assumptions with the main character is that he thinks he's gonna die, and there's a lot of like internal monologue of like, oh, I can't leave them here, or I can't have too many connections or friends here because I'm just gonna let them down, and I'm not gonna be here next week, or blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this seems really melodramatic for such a badass character, and I'm not sure where there must be somewhere this story is going, because everyone is saying that this game leads into like a third game.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And apparently, spoilers, if the third game doesn't end with Mecha Hitler, it's not going to be complete.
Oh, wow.
And the way that the story built into that.
Never thought you'd hear that in your lifetime, did ya?
No, never.
No.
Well,
with
Mecha
this
Hitler
story.
was in Wolfenstein.
I know he was.
So.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, so and then the weird part is because this is an alternate reality world, you actually get a chance to play the original Wolfenstein in this game, but they don't call it Wolfenstein.
Oh no.
They call it Wolfenstone, and all the posters in the original game are replaced with B.J. Blazkowicz's character, and it's all done in that game's design aesthetic.
Huh.
It's super weird.
Oh, interesting.
This game is one hell of a trip. It is. I can't explain how weird it is. Just seeing all these interactions of, yes, Nazis won World War II. Like this is the universe now. It's super weird. I really like that game, and I want to finish it some more. Like I think I'm gonna finish it this week because it's crazy, and also the gameplay is really good too because it does the whole health pack system.
Okay.
You don't have to.
There's no cover fire like it.
There's no regenerating health.
Yeah.
You do pick up armor, so
Yeah.
that's not too bad. Some of the bigger mech characters that you fight, you can shoot their armor pieces off and put them onto yourself.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
not too bad.
That's cool.
Yep.
The game does a how do I explain this? There are commanders in the game in various points of the level, and if you manage to kill the commanders, they stop calling in reinforcements.
Oh, cool.
So there is an incentive to blast through the level or sneak through it around it.
Is it open world? Then?
No, it's not open world. You've got one hub level, which is this U-boat, which the resistance has captured from the Nazis, and that serves as sort of your main base before you head on to various missions.
Okay.
So it is an open world. It isn't an open world game in that aspect. Weird, right? But yeah, what was I saying? The commanders, right? So there is a sense of stealth in the game.
Yeah.
But it treads very weirdly on the parts where I don't like games that shoehorn stealth into it when the game mechanics aren't designed for it.
Designed for stealth, yeah.
Right. So, and this game being Wolfenstein, it is a very action-heavy game. Seems to be like you should stealth towards and kill the commander before he calls more reinforcements in, but you can just run and gun and shoot him in the face.
Just shoot him in the face.
So I'm at odds with the game design, and because the way the difficulties work,
Yeah.
on easy, it's easy for me to run up and blast him in the face and then take care of anyone else that was still around.
Right.
I might crank it up to the next difficulty level.
Just
Because I'm more used to how the game mechanic works. I was very taken aback by the fact you can duel with almost anything in the game. Yeah, look, it's a fun game. Definitely get it. I would recommend.
One day.
I was planning on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so many games.
My big concern was like, do I get it for PC? Do I get it for PS4? Do I get it for Switch next year? Because that's the thing; it's coming out for Switch
Yeah.
as well.
It is.
No multiplayer, anyways. Like you
No.
said, so it doesn't really.
But it looks so good.
It's so pretty.
It's one of the best looking games I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, but I
So
can't
PC
play
would
it
be
on the
really,
toilet.
if you want the graphics.
Yes,
Maybe go
and
for a
that's a
PC.
major-
PC or a console.
That's a
Yeah.
big concern. Can I play while pooping?
You want to kill Nazis while pooping?
Yes.
Kill Nazis all the time on the bus.
They did not see that coming. I don't think that joke ever. They don't ever say that joke. I think that's one of the trophies and achievements where it's like stealth kill 100 or 5 Nazis in a row or 5 enemies in a row.
Done.
Yeah,
This game is not Animal Crossing.
it feels weird.
That is it's my opinion. I'll be right back.
And he leaves.
Goodbye.
He's so upset.
He is so rage induced that he just left. This,
Rage quit.
Goodbye. Rage quit life because of Animal Crossing. It's not an Animal Crossing game.
This is not Animal Crossing.
There's no more thing to live for.
Yeah.
I picked up Virginia actually on the Steam sale right now. It's $1.
What's that?
Okay, so it's made by 505 Games, and it is an indie game that actually one of the first ones that won a BAFTA award. And so it's got this weird cell shading event. You basically play as an FBI agent that's just graduated from Quantico. And again, I've only played like about 10 minutes of the game, but it's got no voice acting in it, and it's all told through story events.
Okay.
Okay, puppy dogs, what do you guys want?
Your attention in love.
Yes.
Attention and love.
But it is all told through in-game story events and interactions. There's no voice work in it at all. And basically, you are assigned by what's the director of the FBI? Whatever. You are told to investigate, are told to follow one of the X-File type characters.
Mulder?
A Mulder type character.
Scully?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure where the story is going right now because there's no voice acting. But basically, you're following this person or this other FBI agent on their case to Virginia to search for a missing child or missing adolescents or whatever. And that's basically as far as I got through the game.
But it's $1.
It's $1. It is $1, and I've been meaning to buy it for a long.
Worth all the money you spent right now.
I want to finish it. I don't think it's very, very long. If you enjoy games like Her Story, it's a walking simulator.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, it's a walking simulator. Like there's very little puzzle solving, and it's all environmental, like storytelling.
Okay, that's cool.
Or like what's the other one? Like the last everyone everyone go to the Rapture or something like that?
Yeah.
Let's all go to
Yeah.
the Rapture, or
Yeah.
what's that one called?
Yes.
Let's go to the
Something
Rapture.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you got it?
Uh,
So it's like that.
yeah, it's like a walking simulator. So, and it is on PlayStation 4. And
Everybody's gone to the Rapture.
That's the one. That's the one. But yeah, Virginia. It's a buck. Buck 10.
It's a $1.10.
Nick's gonna buy it right now.
You lied to me.
I totally would get this game for even $10, but it just happened. I just happened to be in this right time that I didn't touch it.
where it's on sale.
90% off. Ooh, special edition.
Yeah, I almost bought the special edition.
$1.26.
To get the soundtrack.
The
The soundtrack is actually really, really strong as well because
is
it's
good?
because it's a game with no voice work.
Oh yeah,
you
it has
need to have
good
it-
environmental
It's
feel
about-
to it.
Yeah, the music is really, really good. The character design, it's like a cel shaded look to it, and there is an option to play the game in 60 frames per second, but you don't want to play it. You want to play in 30. The
Oh,
way
okay.
that the game, it's got a movie style feel to it. It's got that filter over everything.
Right.
The sort of that fuzzy movie filter that you see in a lot of action movies and movies in general.
What?
Yeah, that's the first Wolfenstein game. Definitely. I just ended up watching all the movies online.
I'll
For it.
play through that.
I'll play
I
it.
have it.
Yeah.
But I'll play through that.
This won't come on the Switch though, right?
No, we're
No,
only
the new one
getting
will.
number two.
Number 2. So yeah, that's basically been my week. I watched a little bit of The Punisher. I think I'm on episode 4, and it's a good show. I think this is probably
Like Daredevil.
it's almost as good as Daredevil for me.
Wow.
It's,
That's
it's
what I've been
really
hearing.
good. It's solid, and
Yeah.
it provides just enough hooks for me to be like, hey, I
need to see the
I want to
next-
learn more about what happened in Kandahar. I want to learn more about why he wants to kill all these people. Like it's,
Because it's a Punisher.
but he's
That's what he does.
That's his thing.
They need to be punished.
You need to be punished. Ooh, that's
After hours?
Honestly.
Can you stop, dog? Just chill.
Yeah, I think that's basically it for me. I had to write it down because I did a lot of stuff this week. I'll let you guys know what South Park is like. Not next week. 'Cause
I'll get
I
on
won't be
it.
here next week, unfortunately. But
I'll get on it.
I'm pretty sure I'm here next week. It might be the weekend after that.
I would sure hope so.
oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that's been my week. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
because I haven't done any of the Flash stuff yet. I haven't after the second episode.
Crisis on Earth X is coming.
I don't know.
It's their evil counterparts.
Eh.
So you get like evil Supergirl and evil Arrow.
So
and evil
reverse Flash?
No, there's a different
Reverse
Flash.
The Reverse Flash is actually the good guy.
Reverse Flash?
something like that. Yeah.
Counter Flash.
Counter Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Other speedster. Insert speedster here. But yeah, that's been my week.
Cool.
Give or take. There's probably one show I watched. I've been watching Jane the Virgin by proxy of
That's pretty
the
good.
girl watching it, and I don't get that show.
It's a telenovela about a telenovela.
I don't get it.
About
it's
a
so
telenovela.
weird. I don't get it. And I'm always asking questions, and I'm not supposed to, but I still do it anyways.
I like how speaking with the just Wolf.
Such a random bunch of characters there.
Well, I love it though because they're sneaking in like a swastika into
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's bold.
into the Flash thing.
Well, no,
Or Crisis on Earth
the
X.
dad or whatever is a Nazi general.
That make no, it
Okay,
all
so
makes
is
sense.
that
but it's very...
is that like their version of the Red Sun event?
Maybe.
Oh.
Do you guys know what the Red
Yeah.
Sun?
But I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so the Red Sun event is a DC one shot where when Superman landed on Earth in our universe, or not our universe, but the universe that you know, he lands in Kansas, gets
Yeah.
raised by the Kents. In the Red Sun event, he actually lands in Russia.
Yeah.
And he gets raised as a communist,
Yeah.
and then becomes the face of the communist government.
Yeah.
And yes, that is an alternate universe. It's the weirdest thing.
I also love on this group photo because everybody hates her at this point.
Oh,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is that?
I don't
thought
know
people
why.
like her.
Oh no, people absolutely can't stand her. But the best part is the look on his face because she's in front.
Yeah, she should be. You think it'd be Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow?
Nope.
yeah. They put them back.
That's why everybody else is at least sort of staring at the camera. Like he's not.
Well, that's because he's
He's
gonna be
not.
done for the show for a
I
little
know,
while.
but it's like he's just like, excuse me, That's MySpace.
Yeah, why are you there?
Why are you there?
I don't think it matters.
Because no one wants him and her together because that's not how it should be.
How should it be?
He ends up with
Canary.
Iris.
No, Oliver ends up with Black Canary.
Yeah.
Not Felicity.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Let's see.
Flash.
No, I know who Flash ends up with.
Everybody knows who Flash ends up with.
But that's everybody's like Arrow's supposed to end up with like Black Canary, whether it's Laurel or
Yeah.
Dinah or like
Whoever
Black
it is
Canary.
now.
it's supposed to be a Black Canary. It's not supposed to be the blonde
My
hacker.
sugar?
No.
Oh, this is a lot of sugar.
Eat it.
Just
Eat it. Eat it.
it's your birthday.
It's like a sugar
Anywho.
cube.
I don't like sugar cubes.
You can go next.
Okay, it's going to be super quick. NHL 18.
Who did you get drafted by?
I went in the second round.
We.
Is that a good thing?
We got knocked out in the second round of the playoffs.
Oh, no wonder. So you just sucked.
Yeah, I won I was a point per game player.
Hey, I saw you got a gold trophy. That's all that matters.
So how did you not get?
Yeah, I saw you get a gold
I don't
trophy.
think I got.
How did you not get picked in the first round then?
don't know.
Point a game is pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah.
I wasn't rookie. I was my second year in the WHL.
Oh, no wonder you should be getting 2 points a game.
That wasn't happening in the playoffs. Point is, we beat Calgary in the first round.
Good for
Yay!
you.
what
Take
we
that,
did.
Hitman.
And then we lost in the second round.
Calgary Hitmen?
That's
That's their name.
That's their name.
Isn't that the Calgary Flames?
That's the NHL.
That's the NHL.
Yes, I am drafted to the NHL now.
Who are you playing for?
Detroit.
What's another?
That's not terrible.
That's a hockey town.
That was 37th overall.
That's a hockey town.
So there was a chance the Oilers could have picked me up.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
It's weird seeing all these different players on
Yes.
different teams right now. Montreal has really loaded up
Well, because you're 2 years.
into the future.
You're 2 years in the future now from where we are. So
And there's no, Golden Knights for you?
there's
Golden Knights. Yeah, they're in the game.
I'm in the Eastern Conference, so I won't see them as much. We are a shitty team. Really shitty team. I think
Yeah, I was
we're
like
1-7-2 right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're not doing so good. We won our first game, and
Get
then
going.
we lost the rest.
Get going.
Once again, I am a point per game player as a rookie
Get going.
on this team.
Should be 2 points per game.
Some days.
Try harder.
I did get hat
No.
trick.
Look at
All
hat-trick.
days.
Look at hat-trick per game.
There is a trophy where I got to get 50 goals in my rookie season. I
How
think
many
I'm
games
at
are there?
7 goals.
Well, if you're a point a game and you've played 8 games, you should be at 8 points.
No, we've played almost 10 games now.
But then you're behind.
And I'm at like 7 goals, I think.
Oh, and 3 is this. Mr. Point per game.
I might even be more than that. I have the same, equal amount of goals as assists.
He's mathing
Oh.
you.
No, it's not mathing. It's judging.
If you have 82 games and you're on that gear, you'll be just fine. Can you guys stop hitting the camera?
No.
Earthquake!
Stay. Sit.
I've already moved up on the lines.
Nice.
We
That's
are
good.
Pokemon Go update. We are at 2.8 billion.
See, I
Without me, it'd
contributed.
be 2.7 billion,
Two-
999
2,812,437,043 caught.
999 million.
There's actually a huge, they actually down to the number.
Oh.
Nice.
2.8 billion. It's going to be by the end of the day.
There you go.
By the end of the day.
I am playing on the line with Zetterberg right now.
Nice. See, you're playing with an actual person.
Yep. I am slowly taking. I'm on the second line.
Have the Oilers traded McDavid for someone yet?
No.
Oh.
There really hasn't. There's not really much of a change on that lineup.
Yeah.
How are the Oilers doing?
I don't know. I played them in my fourth game of the season.
Yeah.
So
Did they beat you?
yes,
See, they're doing
we
pretty
won
good.
our first game. We've lost everything else so far. Even it's our goaltending. They can't keep the puck out of the net.
Play defense better.
We could score 4 goals,
Get good.
and they're getting 5.
Oh, and you know what always sucks in those games when they pull you off because of the line switching? It always drives me nuts in NBA. Because we'll be ahead by 5, and my defense, I'm making sure people are covered,
Yeah.
and we've been doing pretty good holding them at 5 points back. Then they call me out, and I simmed my next thing, and we're behind by 10, and I'm like, what? What happened while I
It
was
is
not playing?
almost expected one of my first few shifts in the first periods,
Yeah.
the other team will score the first goal.
Oh.
Oh.
It's almost expected.
So you're just like the Oilers.
And you're taking tons of penalties. And of course, I'm on the first penalty kill line,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so I get lots of shifts on the PK.
yeah. But as long as you can perform on the PK, that
can't.
shit. Oh, well then get your shit together, dude.
Because it says to cover the point, but they're always cross passing, so I have to cover that too.
Yep.
Oh.
Get good.
So it's
Get good. That's the pro
Apparently.
tip. Get good.
I'm getting a lot of negative on not covering the point, apparently, but it's a lot. It's a bigger step up here.
Come on, get on it. Get those points. Point per game.
I am a point per game. I'm almost a 2 point per game.
Make it 3.
It wants to download more.
Yeah, it's always downloading.
Yeah. At this point, you might as well just. I wouldn't.
Shut it down.
Goodbye game. Uninstall.
But yeah, that's,
Hold on, let me do that too.
Wait, quick.
I'm done.
You have to
I'm
go.
done with it.
I'm debating because my team is doing so bad just to request a trade right now.
Whoa.
Just be that rookie.
Little
Can you-
rookie being like,
can
I
you
don't
do
want to
that?
play for a junk. Yeah, you
Does
can
that happen?
request it.
Does
I
it
can.
happen as a
There's an
rookie?
option now. Now that I'm in the majors.
Majors.
Well,
Major
they even said
dickweed.
during preseason, oh, you got 3 games to prove yourself, or we'll send you back down. I'm like, okay.
It shouldn't be that hard on a team that blows that hard.
I'm good. I am one of the top-rated guys on the team already.
Oh, then yeah, request a trade, man. Get off that Detroit stinky team. Who's their goalie?
Either Mrazek or Hutchinson.
I
know
recognize
both those names.
I recognize
Go
both
to-
those names too.
Go to get traded to Las Vegas.
I don't know those names.
I didn't think you would. That's okay.
Get traded to Vegas? No.
You'll be a superstar.
I'm okay right now with this. I might ride it out, see how it goes. We might get a top draft pick that just might improve help me.
Or boot you down back to the minors.
Big fish, little pond. Big fish, little pond.
Considering how many points I've gotten for this team, I'm not being sent down at
Big
all.
fish, little pond. Big fish, little pond.
It's just really weird seeing myself in red all the time.
Yeah.
It's odd.
But at least that's a hockey, like, you know, not that it matters in the game, but at least if you're gonna get drafted to a team, Detroit's an actual, like, it's a hockey
should
town.
be
Yeah.
decent. It should be a decent team.
It should be a decent team.
Well, so should Edmonton be. But
And I don't know why.
we're all over the place this
We're all-
season.
yeah.
I was just gonna say this season's been a weird.
Edmonton's been
Our
like we
fundamentals
won the
are
last
not
game,
there.
right? So
No,
No,
we didn't.
lost.
I thought we won that one.
No. You're
We
thinking
win
of
one?
a game.
you're
before
thinking
that.
of the game before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
And I don't know why it took me this long to realize it now, but the advertisements on the boards,
Yeah,
they're actually the ones I'm noticing are the movie ones.
yeah,
They're actually changing.
yeah.
Oh,
With-
really?
Yeah, so when I first started the game, it was Thor Ragnarok on it. Now it's Coco.
Ooh.
I don't
Oh,
know why
yeah.
it took me this long to realize that. Maybe I'm just too focused on the gameplay, but it's a cool little tidbit that they
Oh.
threw in there.
We're gonna lose tomorrow too
Oh, yeah,
Why do you think so?
against the Bruins.
Are they
You
good?
don't know that.
Nope, no cupcakes for you.
Are they good?
You're a pancake,
But-
not a
Nice.
cupcake.
That's
You're not a
been-
pancake. You're a cupcake.
That's all I have been doing this week.
Oh,
Attack! Die, human!
oh, is it my turn now?
Die,
Yeah.
human! You have the conjure
did
power slash dog.
I did buy a micro SD card for my Switch, so I can
Oh.
I can
you got-
buy stuff now.
Yes.
After Christmas
Hi.
shopping. That's really weird to watch.
What, Brian make out with a dog?
I am not putting my tongue in this situation.
That's going great on the video.
There is only one tongue in this situation right now, and it is not mine.
She likes you.
Oh, she's
Don't-
falling. Don't fall.
Eh,
She's
she's
young.
made of rubber.
She's
She's,
young.
fine.
She's young. She'll bounce back.
And bounce onto
Yes.
you.
Now it's
Oh,
That's
my
it for
glasses
me.
are all like.
That's how I exist every day that way.
tag. You're it.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
So I guess we talked about a lot of stuff.
Fortnite.
Test.
Yeah, but I don't have.
Yeah.
The only other things I've been doing, I guess, is I watched that new TV show, The Good Doctor. Same creators as House MD.
How's
Oh
The
yeah.
autistic.
The autistic, like it's a good story.
my friends like it.
Yeah, some criticism
My friends.
is like they think they don't know if they're portraying the autism correctly, but there's the spectrum of autism.
It's so large.
I was just gonna say that.
How can you say like
that's not how autism
Obviously,
is.
he's high functioning.
Well, even if
As
you
long
think
as
of,
he doesn't get the emotions.
well,
I
even
think-
if you think about like
Yeah.
something like The Office, Dwight totally had like Asperger's.
No.
No,
I
never
totally
did.
did.
No,
I could
it's
totally,
tiresome.
I could totally see it.
No.
If they didn't officially say anything,
Sheldon from Big Bang? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's more ADD than any.
No, that's
That's
Asperger's.
You think? Okay.
Dwight had social issues. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's
So he
true.
just had social issues.
Yeah.
I guess he had issues.
From what I've seen from the previews, and though this guy has problems, like that's
Yeah.
that's the piece
I haven't
of
seen
it, that
anything
he
for this
can't communicate well with others what
Right.
he's trying to get done.
Yeah.
He has to find different ways. Of,
Is it like a young doctor?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah, he's a young. He's he's a resident.
Okay.
So he's
But
like
it's not like Doogie Howser or anything like that.
no, he's probably like they're about 28, which is about the age of
yeah.
doctors going to their residency. Unless you're a prodigy or something,
Like Doogie Howser.
like Doogie Howser.
But yeah, no, this guy from what I've seen,
Yeah.
it's like he can diagnose people, but then trying to convince people or trying to tell them exactly what's wrong is the piece of it
Yeah.
that's his issue. Like,
And
the-
it shows like the social, like people trying to understand autism
yeah.
and acknowledging that he's
See-
more than just his disorder, which is
See, here's my thing, because that's a good hook for the first season.
yeah. But where's it gonna go?
Where does it go from there? That's like that
Exactly.
pitch show that got canceled, where it was like the first female in the Major League Baseball thing,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
very
Yeah.
good for like. I'm like, this is creating some good discussion and da da da. But where do you go once she
Yeah.
can play baseball? Like once you know she's good at pitching, you're like, all right, now I have a baseball show,
Yeah.
and it was
That's
actually not a bad show.
That's a little bit like Jane the Virgin too. It's like
Like that
could
show
she
would have been a good movie.
But Jane the Virgin, as you keep watching, when they need to, they time jump.
Ah,
That's true.
And the telenovela piece does play into it with like they'll get rid of characters if they're done with them.
That's true.
So like that's where Jane the Virgin was like, because yeah, my wife watches that one too, where I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, like it's an intriguing enough show. Whereas Pitch was like at the end of its first and only season, it did start to get a little bit compelling for me because then it was the sports stuff. The one guy wanted to trade. This was happening. Like it
Yeah.
got into the sports stuff, and I'm like, hey, and then it ended because they were done with all the like girls can't play baseball because she could,
Yeah.
and you're like.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully this one can just kind of they can deal with a lot of that stuff in the first season and just kind of be done
Yeah.
with it and have a good
well,
a
it being the
good
creator of
doctor
like House MD, I feel
I'm not
like it could
worried
go,
about that, yeah. He's
So
pretty-
I think that he's I liked his.
That's where you
I
bring
liked. I
House in.
really liked House.
Well, House had other things
Well,
to like
you-
about
you-
that
Yeah,
show. Too.
that's
You
There's a
can't
lot
really
of other
bring
things
House
about that
in.
show.
I don't know. I've never watched Toast.
Do you want a spoiler for the end of House?
don't
He
care.
fakes his own death and runs off into the sunset.
So he's still alive.
He
Yes.
is, but he
He
can't
is.
be a doctor anymore.
Sure you
No.
can. You
Maybe
just
in
walk
Mexico.
in and go, hey.
I really wish if they ever did like a House comeback like show type thing, is he's been on the road this entire time after his buddy dies, just like randomly diagnosing and saving people's lives
Yeah,
as
just
he's
on the
driving his
road.
motorbike across America. I'm like,
That'd be cool.
I know.
That'd be cool.
Hugh Laurie's not busy right now. He's good.
Yeah, what is Hugh Laurie up to?
he's musicianing. He's been
Yeah.
in movies.
IMDb.
The Night Manager with Tom Hiddleston.
I thought that ended.
It had the one season, but I think they're planning season 2.
Oh, okay.
I have to watch it. I have it. I've yet to watch it.
You have other things to watch now.
I know. I have to watch.
Yeah, there's so much.
watch Game of Thrones.
There's so much going on right now in
Right.
like video games, TV shows. Not really too many movies though. I still have
wanna-
not
I still-
Justice League.
I
yeah,
still-
I have to see Justice.
I still want to play Cuphead too.
Oh, Cuphead looks way too intimidatingly hard.
That's
for
why
me.
I like it.
That looks so crazy.
You have to go watch Justice League, and then Star Wars comes out.
Yo, yeah.
Well, we've already taken care of that. Half.
Half of that.
Half of that. I saw Thor Ragnarok at least.
Yes.
I caught up with that.
Mm.
So yeah.
I have my reservations on it.
Oh, that's what he was doing. It was a show called Chance for Hulu.
Right. And then he has this Holmes and Watson movie.
He was a
What I-
forensic psychiatrist. So instead of House, he's a psychiatrist.
Oh, that's he's trading in different hats.
He's
Yeah.
essentially still a doctor, just a
doctor.
different kind of doctor doing the
hat.
exact same thing.
Yeah. Other stuff. I got Call of Duty World War II.
How is that?
It's good.
It's-
It's
It's Call of Duty.
yeah, Call of Duty.
I think
The
it's-
multiplayer is fun because there's a lot of different modes. you
How
can
are the
do.
servers? Because I know the first week was real rough.
Oh,
it's
servers
expected.
now are fine.
Okay.
So
That's expected, though.
yeah, like
No, well, for a Call of Duty game though, like
Yeah.
for the first week, it's usually not
Yeah.
that
Because
bad.
it's World War
Yeah.
II. That's what the draw to a lot of people was. It's going
Yeah.
back to what it was.
Yeah.
it's nice.
I know a lot of people who were excited about the fact that it was World War II again.
Yeah,
I could care less.
the first player
Single player.
not as single player's not as interesting. I think the multiplayer is really cool. There's a lot of different modes. Capture the flag. You simulate the war. Like so, one team of online players will simulate the alliance, and one will simulate the Axis. But the Axis can win. That's like crap.
Hey.
So which was pretty cool.
So then you turn into Wolfenstein.
Yes. So exactly. Call of Duty goes in retcons
The,
itself.
losing,
goes into
the
Wolfenstein.
losing team all of a sudden comes back with like all of this different game mechanics.
Yeah.
I can dual wield everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and the war mode is really fun because it doesn't like show your kill death ratio.
That's funny.
That's
And
good, 'cause
I
that
look
sucks
awful.
sometimes.
Yeah, everyone's always like, "Oh, what a noob, what a loser." I'm like, I just started this game.
2 kills and 85 deaths. Mm-hmm,
How many games? How many games is that?
One.
Lots. 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 What are you talking about? Stop touching me.
Define lots. When?
One full
100.
game.
Yeah, I didn't even quit. Died 58 times. Did
I
I
did-
give up? No, sirree, Bob.
I didn't quit. I DC'd.
Everyone else could because they didn't want to play with me.
It wasn't my fault. It was one versus like the rest of the team.
Yeah,
I had
Just
my
kept
own
doing it
battle
over.
royale.
that game is pretty satisfyingly fun too. So
Is it awkward having automated weapons in a World War II game?
yes,
Still?
so that is one of the biggest critique is like those weapons wouldn't have been
Basically, just M1 Grands should be the
Yeah.
only thing that you were worried about.
Because at least Battlefield 1, I think, did a fairly good job of making sure the weapons were a little bit more.
Yeah.
Most
They still had automated in there, but they wrote them
But
in
even
properly.
I was gonna say, and Graham even explained that one because that game came out when Graham still showed up with us. But,
I mean, who's Graham?
But he was talking about it, and it was like, if you look back, they did have plans for some of those weapons, so that's how they incorporated them into Battlefield 1, was like, oh, this particular government in this game actually managed to take that prototype and make it work.
something.
So, so you're not getting any holographic sights with like weed symbols on them, right?
no.
A little weed symbol on the
Little
holo
weed
sight.
symbol.
Go.
What else?
No, there's cords in the way.
Civ 6. Playing
Civ,
some Civ
Civ.
6.
Civvy.
Yeah, that's a nice game.
Has Gandhi gone to war with you yet?
I
It's
allied
Buddha.
with Gandhi, and then someone was attacking him, so I declared war against that guy, and then Gandhi was like, "I hate warmongers," and I was like, "Well, I was
Die.
trying to protect you."
I don't think you can have that discussion with Gandhi. I feel like some open chat box you
Yeah.
can just write to Gandhi.
And
I was
again-
trying to protect you, you
You
dilly.
can have the conversation with the screen. Whether Gandhi hears you or not is
Yeah.
a completely different.
The funny thing is, Gandhi is still like he doesn't like warmongers, but if you use nuke weapons on someone, he's like, "I like that."
Yes, Gandhi's very pro nuke
Pro nuke, just like Civ 5.
Apparently.
It was peaceful.
Yeah.
because you're obliterating an entire civilization at once.
Yes.
Not sacrificing your own guys.
There you
Yeah, that's
go.
The least amount of damage with
Just
the most amount of damage.
Complete genocide minus
what he's all
actual
about.
kill. The bomb killed them.
The bomb killed
Yeah.
them.
The explosion,
the
not
falling
the
bomb. The falling bomb.
Falling bomb. Yeah.
The falling gravity. If anything, gravity killed them.
Yeah, people don't kill people.
Gravity.
Bombs do.
Gravity kills.
people. We didn't
it's
choose where
still-
gravity would pull that. Yeah, I got it when it was on sale.
No,
and
it's
it was
still it's half off.
yeah. So it was still
It's
still
it's
pricey.
autumn sale, yeah.
Are you enjoying Civ 6 though? Like it's,
Yeah.
I feel like there's
I
two
have-
camps. There's two camps of people for Civ 6. Civilization.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
people who really like it and get really
There's
into
also
it.
people who
And then
play
people like
through.
me.
There's also
Just-
people who can play through the game like fast, like they just become the warmonger and destroy
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
I go for
Yes.
like the other, like either cultural victories
Or technology,
and it takes a lot longer.
So this is like a Civ game because that was.
Oh yeah, very.
I remember when I got my X.
Yeah, they tried to consoleize it, didn't they?
They tried the console version of Civ, and I was
really?
like, ooh.
Yeah,
but they tried to make it quick. Like, it was
remember,
actually
Oh, it seemed
every
okay.
match should take. It was like a match, so every game should take you an hour,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And you're like,
It felt okay.
It felt okay for what it. Once you realize what it was, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But starting into it, I'm like, I sat down and hunkered myself in for Civ.
Yeah.
Like, these games take
They take a long time.
eons.
Like, I take my time. I pretend I'm an actual, like, diplomatic government.
Yeah.
And, like, don't go to war. I try and simply solve diplomatic
went
issues.
to war.
I did, because this guy was, like, killing everybody.
I was going to say,
like,
but yeah, it comes down to it. That's why I still love Medieval Total War 1. Because you make all the... No, 1,
Right.
man. 1. 1 was where it
I
was
think
at.
it might have been one. I can't remember which one I have.
But 1 was where it's at. I didn't even care about the battles. Like, I know people like, Graham again
Yeah.
was one of those ones who was like, he'd get into the battle screen and just, like making all the right moves and doing that. And I'm like, I loved the overworld
simmed
map.
it.
Yeah, and I simmed the battles and everything else. I was like, I make sure my armies are here. It's like playing a
Yeah.
big game of Risk sort of thing. And
They
then all of
got
a sudden...
really tough, though.
Well, but then all of a sudden you're doing pretty good, and you've gone to war with a couple people who've started... Like, I let people start the fight with me, and I'm like, whoa. Whoa. And then I
What's
retaliate a
going on?
little, and then when they give me the peace offering, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we can be peaceful.
What I found kind of annoying in
'Cause
that
the
is
Pope
that
is
how
a dick.
when you kill the kings,
Yeah.
they always come back.
Yeah, eventually they
Oh,
come
yeah.
back. Or you get the...
Zombies.
The
No, no,
the Huns.
I hate those too.
Zombie Huns.
No, you're doing fairly well. You're taking over the world, and all of a sudden it's like you get the prompt, and it's like out of the east comes this black shadow,
Yep.
and they obliterate everything on their way towards the Western Europe, and you're just like
Zombies!
Retreat.
well, no, so you're like forcing all of your guys onto your
cover
eastern
that
front to
flank,
try and
yeah.
do that, but then England is being a dick, and they're like, oh, you're done defended, ha, from behind, and you're
You're
like,
like-
we have a bigger problem to
I
deal
was
with.
English.
I always started as Italy.
I started as English.
Total War was our Warhammer Total War was pretty good. I enjoyed
never
that
did
one
that
too.
one.
But Medieval Total War, it was like they added so much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just complicated things. I like Medieval Total War 1.
Earthquake!
Earthquake.
Hi.
Pancake,
You're a pain
I'm busy
today.
here.
you're not a cameraman.
She's like, that's our spot. That's my spot.
Hello. Hello there. Yeah, so Civ.
The
Civ.
problem with my method of playing Civ 6 is that, the turns get a lot longer because there's so many more units because I haven't been killing off anybody. So each turn takes like...
See, you gotta kill people.
Yeah, I gotta kill people.
Gotta
and
be
the turns
war.
will be faster.
You got a warmonger.
Yeah. But it's okay. So it's nice though. There's it's different than Civ 5 in that there's now districts. You build districts, not just your one city gets bigger and
Yeah.
so.
What comes in the digital deluxe pack?
I gotta get Medieval Total War.
I don't think I got the digital deluxe pack. I think I just got the
Scroll
game.
down. It's probably all those.
Oh, I did get the digital deluxe pack.
Vikings.
You get other civs.
That was
yeah.
But that was Medieval. That was the expansion to Medieval Total War 1.
Okay, so then I have one.
Vikings.
Oh, I should check.
Yeah.
that
Because you
out.
could actually
Yes.
fight just on the British Isles. Like you
I
could
hate the
focus in and just fight on the Isles. Because
yeah.
during the Viking.
Well, yeah, I always did. Like I said, I always started with England.
Yeah.
And I found it always trying to get to bring everything inland.
Well, Italy was the worst to start with because you were right next to the freaking Pope.
And they were powerful.
Well,
too.
no, and as soon as like a fight started, he's like, "Oh, you're excommunicated," and I'm like, "Germany started it."
Or they go and don't they do some religious thing too?
The Crusade.
The Crusades, and they take your guys
If
as
you were
they go to.
if you were excommunicated,
And
if you were
but in
excommunicated,
whatever Christian place they go through,
yes,
they take your
people.
guys.
That's why
Oh,
you
Which was
really?
annoying.
That's and see as part of Italy being next to the Pope. If you start a crusade, I always did. I'm like, I'll start a crusade, work my way through Europe after I've sent my missionaries out to convert everybody.
Or I start as the Ottoman,
Yep, the Ottoman
Oh, the
Empire.
Ottoman Empire.
because then I don't have to worry about those things.
You do when I get to you. As my missionaries are slowly like walking around.
That's what
your
I spent
place.
all my assassins doing, is killing
I know.
those guys.
Oh no, you work your way from killing missionaries to killing people. Like once those assassins level up, they are insanely awesome. Because
Yeah,
you're
but they
like,
can still
kill a prince, and it's like there's a 92% chance
I go-
this
and I
will
go after
succeed, and you're like,
generals.
yes,
Yes.
Well, because
Man, that 8% must suck.
always
if
that
you, if you
where-
roll it.
the army that's right next to you has a good general.
yeah, take him
You
out.
send him out, get a weaker guy,
Yeah.
or you hope it's a weaker guy, and then you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incest and all. I love that game. Like it was.
I just did the assassins part after a while because
Your troops have found out that their leader isn't like is the incestual creation of blah 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 and blah 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 because you married like your daughter and your son together by accident or something, and you're like, whoops.
Didn't mean to do that.
Or I go kill the princesses.
Or I go after the princesses too. Take them out.
Oh, like Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because it's a diplomatic thing. Because back then they married off the princesses to like forge alliances.
Like
That's
Bowser.
all I did.
Yes.
Just like that.
So yeah, my
Just
assassin
steal
would
them.
just sneak in and.
Just steal them.
But yeah, my missionaries would go out and just be like, "You will start praising God and not whatever it is you praise. Welcome to
they're
Christianity."
As soon as
And
they
then I'd start a crusade and slowly work my way through like the Ottoman Empire and
as
everybody else, 'cause,
the Ottoman, I think it was the by Tanzan.
Byzantine.
I can't remember. I never say their name.
Byzantine.
I always started with them too.
Yeah.
And then I see any missionaries in my area.
Assassinate.
Assassin.
No, I'd start in Italy all the time. We were green.
I know.
Italy green.
Can I come after you through the ocean?
We should be partners. We'll take over the world.
Then you get excommunicated.
The worst part about Total War Warhammer is, and Graham explains this in Total War, or not Total War, sorry, in Warhammer. In the fantasy realm of Warhammer, there's an end.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
that's
how
the
Warcraft,
reason.
we don't know how Warcraft ends?
Yeah.
Warhammers come up, they have an end point
Oh, they do.
where the world gets destroyed.
Careful, earthquake.
Nope, we're good.
We're good. Where the Earth actually, like, the Warhammer world gets overtaken by, like, shadow demons and it's done.
It's done.
So in Warhammer Total War, that's pretty much it gets to a point, and instead of the Huns coming and you can actually defend yourself a little bit,
Yeah.
this one's like, end times are here. Survive as long as possible. And you're like, what?
What?
I've barely stretched out on this map. I've got like 4 villages that belong to me, and you're saying the end times have come?
I hate the Huns.
I know. Every time I got to that part of the game, I'm like, oh,
New game.
man. No, I would just like bring all my forces back to what I considered Italy and just call it a day. I'd be like, you can all survive in this tiny little area here. I don't care who else comes for what.
Yep.
Leave some peasant army men in like my other countries just to maintain order. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. So Civ's good. You've been enjoying Civ.
Oh, yeah. Elite
Anything else?
Dangerous,
Yeah.
Destiny, Fortnite. That's it.
$1 Virginia game.
It's in there. That's why it's in
So
there.
good. Such a good deal.
I know. I loved it the other day when my thing goes off and it's like 21 items on your wish list.
I know.
They're on
I
sale.
had to look at that. I'm like, oh, do I really need any of these?
I know, and that's what I did too. I'm like,
Yes,
ah.
you do. You need them all.
Just lie down. And
Yeah, there's so
there
many
too.
games I gotta do.
And that's my biggest
Yeah.
issues. Well, and then with my
TV
job, with
shows.
just the report card thing, it was
Oh,
kind of
yeah, I
like,
got
you know,
my-
well,
I
Yeah,
started
you
my
only
new
got
job.
another month left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Break
So you
time.
should be hearing him a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you remember us.
If
You know,
I-
whatever, it's
Next
fine.
week.
Next week.
Just
I will be
saying.
here.
Yes.
You better be.
Yes.
I don't have any plans. so.
Good.
Well, in the evening
Because
at
Nick
like
might
7
not be
p.m.
Ooh, I
here
want to
now.
try that one.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
You and me can just...
It's on my wish list.
I don't know how to do this, but...
I don't know. I don't know how to set
I know,
up
but
any
it's
of this
not on
stuff.
sale.
I know.
That's what I was waiting
It looks
for.
so good.
I know.
What?
We happy,
Happy
happy
Few.
few. We happy.
I
few.
don't know about that game.
Well, that's why I was waiting for when it said 21 of my things were on sale. I'm like, sweet. I have 25 items in my wish list.
I
So
think
I was-
12 of
there's
my
a-
20.
There's a pretty good shot that this is going to be on sale.
Nope. I think it's because it just came out.
And I have my 20% discount now, so I don't know what to spend.
It's
money
not
on.
on PS4 though.
Has No
Yes,
Man's
it is.
Sky gone
We
back?
have
We
a
have
few.
few?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? I thought it was
Yes,
Xbox
yes.
only.
Nope.
Okay,
I
good.
saw it.
That's good.
It's still $26.59 is still too much for No Man's Sky.
That is $26 too much. That is
That is about $16 too much
Why
for
do
me.
you have
That is
rugby?
30.
Because I
Rugby's
wanted a rugby
cool.
game, but it's $55 for a rugby game.
Yeah, that's too much.
Shouldn't have a rugby game in there in the first
Near
place.
Check this out. Where is it? Handball 16.
I play that in real
Oh, man,
life. I don't
not
have-
GTA's 82 cents, by the way.
I
Hey,
know.
I thought about
It
getting
always
that.
goes on sale.
Not GTA. What's
We'll have
that?
to show you that later. It's,
Yeah, we'll
it's
show
fantastic.
you
okay.
later. Handball went down to this, and I'm still not sure I want to get it for $8.
$8.09.
Cool.
Cool. That's
So that's it for us?
Yeah.
All right,
That
whoa.
is everything.
Well,
That was a
then.
big show.
Sorry.
Kind of.
It's okay.
That's okay. Hey, we don't
It's
mind
good.
we don't mind the big shows. That's what we are about here.
We should do something called the Big Show.
It can go after the post-credit show.
The big post credit show.
Right now it's just a credit show because our heads are blocking out the post.
The credit. Now it's the credit show.
Reddit show? Red.
Okay.
With that, everybody, thanks for watching. Check us out at
Thanks for joining us today.
BrNN.com.
We've got social spaces, social links, social everything. You can find us there.
We're social.
OobTube, if you're watching us on OobTube, make sure you subscribe, share
Yes.
it with everyone.
We're
Yes.
social.
Click the little bell icon to get notified when we go live right away. It helps a lot.
Subscribe. Share with your friends.
Yeah.
Tell your
Yeah.
friends.
Where's my hot cocoa?
You got your hot.
You finished
You
your
had your hot cocoa.
Cocoa.
Your cocoa is done.
I don't want any cocoa.
More hot cocoa.
Anywho.
I want to suckle the.
All right. All right. On that suckling note, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye. It's not working.
Oh, okay.
The program is frozen.
What was the last thing you did? Did you hit them? Sweet.
Nick broke it.
It happens.
But it's still.
It's still streaming?
Yep. There it goes.
There it goes.
I wonder if it was recording that entire time.
It was. Oh, yeah, because look, we're moving.
Moving.